There you go. Are you some sad schmuck who spent all weekend at a dealership?
Okay, no. Yes for the first part.
Well, if you were yes to both parts, I have a better way for you, and that is with Fair Lease. Fair Lease is Texas. Fair Lease is owned by Credit Union of Texas. They are putting your best interest first. Sell your car, get paid fast, get more for your trade. We know the people at Fair Lease. We know Danny. We know Matthew. We know they're going to help you out and make this as easy for you as possible. They'll bring the car right to you. You can do all this over your phone. It's right there in the name, folks. It's fair, flexible, focused on you. So go to their website, fairlease.org, and then select request a quote, and then Dumb Zone on the How Did You Hear About Us page that pops up on that drop-down menu. Fair Lease, they're doing it a little bit differently. They are client first. It's not some big, huge operation, but big enough to take care of you. So hit up Danny, hit up Matthew at fairlease.org.
Good spot, dude.
Hey, I thought it could have been a little better, but I'm going to say C plus B minus.
All right.
It's Monday.
You're humble. And I'm humbled to be with you here today, and I'm Dan McDowell.
I'm Jake Kemp.
And I'm on vacation.
Oh, hey.
Who do we have joining us here?
Oh!
We got a little,
Not Blake.
We're doing bits.
Sex symbol himself.
We got a fake voice.
ACopelandProduction.com.
Hey, guys.
That is Michael Copeland, our real hot video guy. Sorry, Clayton. You got to agree, right? Clayton Kimbrough's here.
Yeah, he's hot.
I was thinking about
He's
Michael
so hot.
when I saw him in the hallway.
He's wearing shorts. He pulls it off. It's 2 degrees out.
Yeah. It's funny because it's like shortstop, quarterback guy. There's something that bothers me about the fact that he's like a good-looking, in-shape dude, and he's like, I'm behind the camera type. Like, oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
He looks like a news anchor.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
We'll see if he can get the show posted.
So scared.
Then we'll judge.
That's right.
I'm just glad to see you made it back safe.
He'll read Reddit, so go ahead and tell him everything that is wrong about his show posting tonight. A little late. It's a little what? Are you talking to me now? If I jump back and forth between topics, you're glad I made it back?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I didn't see you.
I didn't
read back with you.
Yeah, I was with Matt Dallas, Matt Grimm.
Times you boys roll into town.
What do you think, Clayton? One-ish?
Yeah, a little after 1.
Took a stop, got a little food, got a little gas, got a little grass, gas, ass. It was a great time. Thank you, Lone Star Beer, for sending us down to San Antonio. Who would have thought you'd want to be in San Antonio, but there we were. A lot of people came out and joined us.
Dude, that was awesome. The listener.
The stop in Austin was great. The sub sandwich that you made me go to, a not Subway, not Potbelly, not something I've heard of, was awesome. Like, probably the best sub I've ever had. Where's that?
Thundercloud. It's an Austin staple.
Yeah. It was just a good trip.
I was happy. We went to a comedy show on Friday night. That was fun.
We did. That's in weekend check if we wanted to.
That's true.
Start that now. That would be fine. God, Blake, he's just working hard. He's texting me.
Not me.
We got to give we have a guy just to put timestamps on things. You're not doing the timestamps?
I'm doing the timestamps.
Okay. He says I'm supposed to add timestamps guy to give him Substack access. That's a little behind the scenes talk there.
Yeah.
Speaking of behind the scenes talk, also saw John Kukla today, the great John Kukla from Fox 4.
Yeah, I saw Poppy.
What's Poppy?
The dog.
Oh, is it like a seeing eye dog or something?
Yeah, but we found out a minute ago that it's, instead of being a seeing eye dog, it's basically like the telecom of seeing eye dogs. It's going to seed generations of seeing eye dogs. So,
Well, it won't seed, right? It's a lady.
oh, is it okay?
What do they call the thing? Bandana. I was going to say that a hobo would carry somehow all his possessions in that's tied on a stick.
Well, that they actually call a bindle. I'd learned.
Okay, well then
But
maybe it's a
the
bindle.
bandana portion of it. Yeah,
But yeah, there's a really weird bit here. So they
it's not.
housed us. We're at Fox 4. And where our studio is, it's kind of in a back corner. They don't want anybody to see us.
Mm-hmm.
And also in this back corner, there's a couple of offices. And in one of those offices, a lady has a dog every day. And they said it's like a seeing. They're training it to be a seeing eye dog. I
Correct.
don't even get it. Like, why? Why at a TV station are they training a dog? Like, wouldn't they have other places to do that?
I'm not against it.
No.
You know,
Friendly
a
dog?
little office dog. It's just
Better be a friendly dog, right? You wouldn't want
kind
a
of confusing.
dog like attacking the blind guy.
I don't know. Maybe they'll mix it up a little bit.
But this morning when I walked in, they got this seeing eye training dog wearing a bandana around its butt like a diaper. And she said, "Oh, she's in heat."
Okay.
So it's like an anti-F measure.
Well, I think also blood. You ever had the dog in heat?
No,
Oh,
never
my
had a lady
God.
dog.
It's gnarly.
I've only had male dogs.
It's very gnarly.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense then.
Hell, that might have
Who
been
would have
how I
thought a
learned
dog
what
would need a tampon?
It might have been how I learned what a period was.
From your dog?
Yeah, I mean, I think that was probably before. Maybe I knew about like sex, but I don't think I knew that there was going to be a blood involved. They don't lead with that.
And you're like 8?
Yeah, but then we had 2 little yellow lab puppies. They were sisters, and they were not spayed or neutered or fixed or whatever, and they would bleed a lot.
And then you were like, then you saw in the entertainment news that night there was going to be a period piece coming out starring Gwyneth Paltrow, and you're like, whoa.
The whole thing is just about.
So yeah, anyway, why did I get to,
Kukla.
but I was talking to Kukla, and he said, hey, I'm surprised Blake missed that last week. Like in the monthly business review, he said, I didn't get a chance to wish you guys a happy anniversary for being here at the Fox Studios. Apparently, it was like March 25th-ish last year was our first day
Who could forget?
up and flying from the Fox Studios. I think we all could forget. We all did forget. So I'll look it up.
Okay.
I'll find it out on the calendar at some point. And then our lives will be, and it's not on our calendar, I guess, that we have for sale. Probably at an extremely discounted price now if you go to dumbzonemerch.com. But I wouldn't mind doing just jumping in with a weekend chat. We can promote that we have Jared Sandler on the show today like we do every Monday, talk a little Rangers, and give away a pair of tickets. Are we doing that
Oh, yeah.
without Blake?
That's the plan.
Okay, and if
What's
that one
the-
messes up, you'll be mad at Clayton.
There's no way I don't get to 100 innings by the end of May, by the way.
Are you really?
I don't know about really, but if it's a Sunday afternoon, I mean, yeah. You know what? I watch these games from home, but had I been going to a sporting event, Dan, there's only one number I need.
4?
It's 844-RIDE-DFW.
Okay. A lot of 4s in there.
Elite Rides.
Elite Rides is great, man.
They are. They have an app you can book. They've got AI, Alley. Hell, I don't know about this copy. I know that it's easy to book.
Mm-hmm.
Which you can do
Clean.
at 844-RIDE-DFW or on the app.
Like
They're
you
on
always
time.
know it's going to be clean because they've got a fleet of vehicles, and it's not like you're going to get some guys. You're not going to get Clayton's truck picking you up.
No, you're not going to have.
It's going to be a beautiful.
TC used to tell me when he was in the rideshare game, people would constantly complain about his dog hair. Do you know what he would do about that?
Nothing. He's TC.
Nothing, and that's why he
Can
doesn't
you imagine
work at
Blake
Elite
driving
Ride.
up in his 260,000-mile Mazda beater that he drives around?
Cigarette burns in it.
Not Elite Rides DFW.
Disgusting. Not with Elite Rides DFW. So whether it's Rangers games, heck, we got Stars playoffs coming up, concerts, Book it with Elite Rides DFW. Tell them the Dumb Zone sent you, and you can do that by using promo code DZ15 for 15% off your first ride. DZ15, 844-RIDE DFW, Elite Rides DFW. These are the best rides. The best rides in DFW. Is that a new bed? I dig it.
We've been working on beds.
Hell yeah, man.
You can get a lot done when you're driving a 5-hour drive on a Saturday and somebody else is driving.
Yeah, I didn't
love
have that
somebody else
luxury.
driving, dude.
I do too, but I
Like Elite Rides.
If Elite
I
Rides
love
is
somebody
driving,
else just giving me a drive.
If
a
I'm
ride.
with a few people and I can work, but with me and Soroy, it was like both of us felt like a jerk about just soloing it. You know, like I kept telling him, just like, please put on headphones so I don't have to talk to you.
And he wouldn't.
Not really.
You know, I would have ignored you.
But if you have what you guys had, yeah, you can pour over some stuff. So Friday night, let me set the scene real quick. So I told you guys that I was going to go see.
Oh, we're jumping right to this?
Well, I just wanted to say that I was going to go see a comedian in Tulsa last week, but then I had purchased those tickets before we had our Lone Star Central Texas trip planned. So I gave those tickets away. And a listener went. He sent me photos, said it was a great time. And then on Friday, that's as far as I went as far as going, looking at seeing Stavros Halkias. He was not coming to DFW. So Thursday, we parked at the Rose in downtown San Antonio, and the people from the venue were not there yet, so Clayton had to wait on them while we went and walked around. Tried to interview people, and he said, hey, when we got back, he's like, hey, Stavi just walked by. He must be in San Antonio. So I looked, and he was. It wasn't until 8 or 9 o'clock. Our show was over at 6. So I just figured, let's do it. I'm at least going to go. It was down the street from the venue. But the one thing in my head was like, man, if all these guys go, now it's on me if this is funny or not. When we went to Rogan's Club, it was understood, like, hey, this is an experience. I am not telling you that this will be funny. I don't know anybody who's going to be here. So don't be upset with me. And I had to be very clear with Mike Soroy about that because he was not entertained at the Rogan Club. So when I'm trying to sell him on this, he's like, really, dude? You know, you're not exactly 1 for 1 right now. And then once you got involved, I was like, oh, no. If this sucks, I am really going to relive the TMZ tour.
Well, I wasn't involved till the last second.
I know.
And that was all on me, as you know.
Yeah. So we were kind of debating whether or not we should buy tickets, and there was a listener there who went with 5 of us, and none of us know his name.
Oh,
Sorry.
you still don't?
At this point, it felt better just to not ask. So Roy hung out with him for like an hour, just the 2 of them. But he was just standing there. He was a guy, had a couple kids, or a kid and a wife. He was like, yeah, the wife's out of town. I just live like 45 minutes away. I guess I'm just going to go back. I was like, you know what? And he had mentioned to me he was a Come Town or Stavi fan. And I'm like, why don't you just go with us? It's $40 extra. People do win with the Dumb Zone.
Yeah. Well, I bought something that was supposedly $40 and it was like 90. A lot of fees.
A lot
What's
of
up with
fees.
that?
And I got ripped
I thought
off.
Kid Rock is working on us.
I got ripped. He was very timely with that. I got ripped off. I have to get a credit back for about $500 on the company card.
Ooh.
Yeah. Fortunately, they let me purchase tickets there. I showed up. My 6 tickets couldn't scan. They said, why don't you walk over to the box office? And now I got 5 bros standing behind me and me up there talking to these people. They have to call in the manager. It's a whole big thing, dude.
I thought we were beyond getting scanned when you use the
I use StubHub.
StubHub or SeatGeek or something. I thought
I use StubHub, and I did the fan protection thing. They tried to scan my tickets. I had 6 images on a PDF that I could scroll through and see. They tried to scan one of them, and they were like, this ticket's already been scanned. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you, man. And they were like, well, and it was scanned with an order for only 2 tickets. This is just a 2-ticket order. I'm like, well, it's got 6 on the PDF, so you tell me, dude. I'll just get my money back. We'll go home. It's not that big of a deal. Turns out the 6 tickets on the PDF were just 2 tickets copied 3 times. So that if I looked at it, I would scroll up and think there were 6. And then when all hope was lost and I'd already told the boys we were going home, they were like, we do have 6 tickets you can buy. And they gave them to me with no fees.
Okay, so StubHub will credit you back the money you bought, and you got cheaper.
Like half price from what I had paid with the fees.
That's probably a good idea to show up at a show like that, like right when it's starting.
It said sold out. And that's the thing. It wasn't. I think the move is to scam yourself.
I had 2 seats next to me empty.
Yeah, I don't know. They may be doing some Mavs level
Yeah.
attendance lying. But we got in. The 5 of us and listener.
And Guy.
I never want to know your name, by the way. We had a great time.
Do you want to know my situation?
Yes.
So, yeah, during the day, you were like, assuming I didn't want to go, and during the day, you were right. It's like long day, all that kind of stuff.
Leaving early.
But then, I mean, especially during the week, I get ready for the next day's show. I don't know. I just feel like I don't like doing stuff during the week. But now it's Friday, and we didn't have a show for another few days. And the show wraps up. We're like, what was it, 5 or 6 o'clock Friday?
Yeah, it was like 6.
And I knew you were going with 5 other people. And then I was thinking about just being in the house by myself. Like I was describing this to my wife. She's like, well, you love being by yourself. Like,
well, yeah, it's kind of more like when you're not.
like she's.
It must just be that he loves being alone in the house.
I do love being alone,
yeah.
Being at my house is different than just sitting in some rental house in North San Antonio. Just totally alone. My stuff isn't in there. It's not a comfortable place to sit and all that. And I just thought about the prospect of that and thought, that sounds like it might kind of suck. And I'm not that beat. I'm feeling good. Maybe I'll try to go. So I started, I can't remember, StubHub or SeatGeek, one of those. And I'm scrolling through and I found a ticket and I'm looking at it, and don't put it up yet. I have a picture of the ticket. So I'm like, do I do this? Like while we're driving back, we had to drive back the big bus and then get your car to drive downtown to barely make it on time.
Yeah, well, we're not getting our equipment jacked.
Yeah, and I'm like, all right, you know what? I'll pull the I'll just do it. I'll go out with the guys. Who knows? It'll be a fun time and all that. Even though you told me we're not going to have enough room to drive you home. Was that true?
Yeah.
Do you only have one third row seat?
No. Okay, so 2 things. One, I kind of forgot that was back there. I'm going to be totally honest.
So did you have an open seat for me?
It would have been really, really tight.
Okay, because I Ubered back.
It would have been extremely tight. We have some big boys in our group between sorority. I mean, yeah,
we really do, man.
It was not a.
I never
small
realized how
traveling
big
party.
Clayton is. What size shoe do you wear, Clayton?
15-2E.
Jesus Christ.
Is 2E
I don't even
like
know what
a
that
width
is.
thing?
Yeah, it's extra wide.
What's your
He's swanging.
your T-shirt size?
Banging
When people
corners.
want to send us T-shirts and they'll ask everybody's T-shirt. Like Lone Star Beer asked, like on our way down, they're like, "Hey, what's your T-shirt sizes? We'll go grab a couple T-shirts."
4XLT.
4XLT.
Tall.
So he's not a little stump.
No.
He is
He's a growing
a
boy.
giant human being. And Lone Star brought him a hat. They're like, I don't know that.
Look.
We just have a
Universal?
4XLT like lying around. We could get him one,
Yeah.
which they will. Thank you, Lone Star Beer. Go to LoneStarBeer.com and
Sure.
put in DumbZone 21 and see if you can order yourself a 4XLT. So anyway, I decided once I found this ticket, because if you're searching for a single ticket,
Options are,
there's a lot of options.
yeah, limitless.
Here's the ticket. Clayton's going to put it up on the screen, and you could read it for those who are listening to the audio. Take a look at my...
What? You bought row 1, 103? How is this available?
I was absolutely directly in front of Stavros.
How is that free?
In fact, so of course I had a little early bird fun on the way down. So I'm just sitting in, getting in the groove and everything before the show by myself.
The best.
I was the third seat in a row. The two seats, 101 and 102, were empty and remained so throughout the entire show. And I was like, should I move down one so I'm not right next to this guy? Or will then he think I'm a homophobe or something? I don't know. So I ended up just staying where I was. And I was thinking it was too close. But after the opening act, he was pretty good too. I realized, boy, I could just hang my legs out. I could just put my leg up on the wall in front of. It was great. It was the greatest seat I've ever had, and it was like a $50 ticket, which turned into $90 with fees.
Still, I mean, that's about what we paid for the middle section.
It was the best seat I've ever had
That's
to
crazy.
to any show, and I bought it literally an hour before the concert started. Yeah. First row.
That's wild. Yeah, so maybe you can get scammed, or maybe you can get the best seat in the house.
And I'll tell you what, Stavros, I only know him from you talking about him for years. He's on Tires.
Mm-hmm.
And it was one of the greatest comedy shows I've ever been to. I thought he was effing hilarious. He's unbelievable.
Nice.
I can't even remember. It was gold throughout. There wasn't this is the high moment, and I'll just definitely remember this because I don't know, his self-deprecating humor, his fat guy humor, his anything he did, I thought nailed it. I would have been happy being there another hour. Sometimes you're at a show and you're they're dragging out. They don't really have 45 minutes of material. This guy went an hour strong and then just kind of bailed at any point. Anything could have been his ender.
That's awesome. That makes me very, very happy.
It was hilarious.
I didn't think I came away from it thinking I've seen him a couple times and I've seen his specials and seen him do crowd work special. And I didn't think that was his strongest night, but the fact that everyone we went with was I really enjoyed that. That was really good. That made me happy. And I also thought it was cool just from the hot button topics of last week. I just think he threads the needle of, not punching down, but also not being woke guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He describes hey, there's a way to say things where you're not just being a dick. You're not just saying this word or saying these things to be mean. And I just felt he had it felt really good after the Rogan Club. I mean, the crowd wasn't begging for him to say a slur. Now, they were almost 100% in unison supporting Luigi Mangione.
Yeah.
That one seemed to play pretty well in the crowd. But no, it was a lot of fun, and I'm very glad.
So Uber drive back. Do you ever choose no conversation?
I've never actually had the balls to do it.
Because I didn't want to say anything, and I think that guy got that vibe pretty quick. Because he looked like he was trying to be chatty in the beginning, but I also didn't. I thought I'd be an asshole if you click that.
Have you ever done it, Michael? Have you ever actually said don't I've never done the temperature either.
No.
No, I just whatever I get, I get.
Yeah, I don't mess with anything. I just get in.
I wonder who does.
Well, because it makes it the case that there are people who are selecting more, right? Because it starts out in the middle, I'm pretty sure.
Do you think that,
somebody
that because I did not check that, he's oh, this guy wants to talk. So he starts asking me how my weekend's been and all that. And
I think it depends on the Uber driver. I actually have talked to TC about this, and he's it doesn't really affect me. I'm not trying to strike up a conversation. But if they're one who that's their normal mode, they may need to be told that. But what happens if you hit more? You just sit down and start going through you play Who Wants to Be a Millionaire with pepper them with questions?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel it. My days of peppering the Uber driver with like, so what's going on with Kashmir? How come fucking India and Pakistan just can't figure this shit out, man? I don't fucking
think that's associated with
I think that may be over.
with alcohol.
Yeah.
I do want to apologize. On the way down, I was backseat driving. You had to actually just say, hey, stop talking to me. And I did.
I felt so bad about that.
No, you were right, though.
But I wasn't trying to be a jerk.
No, I had to be introspective and go, you know what? He's right.
And
I don't like to be driving and have someone go, oh, should you have turned there?
But
Like, because I'm looking at my thing and I'm like, all right. But I need to issue a public apology.
part of the problem is that
I want you to correct me. I want you to tell me my apple eating bothers you so that I cannot do it around
Look,
you. I want that.
I feel like that goes both ways. But the problem with like shutting off the backseat driver is now the pressure is on. You better not mess that up.
Well, but
I got so nervous afterward. And because it's not that Dan was like, hey, yelling like, hey, turn here, whatever. It's that when Dan is not driving, I've noticed this. When he has the phone in his hand, first of all, I already mapped it, but sure, why not? Second set of eyes.
Yeah.
He's in the back seat. He's calling out every direction. He's like, hey, make sure you exit up here north.
Yeah.
Next one. And I'm like, I know. Yeah. So we did it, and he's like, you probably need to get over. We're going west up here. And by the third time, I was like, shut up. Stop talking. You're making me even more nervous.
And I did.
But then once you did it, I was like, oh, if I screw up now, I'm never going to hear the end of it.
No. I realized it was on me.
No, it was a great time, man. Then we had fucking Taco Gate, where our car went to Taco Bell on the way back, and I was not a part of this because I'm a picky eater, and I don't like to pick up food and take it home. I either want to eat it in the car or have it delivered home. I don't know why. But when you're with a group of big boys and they're on late night, they just want to order like the party pack.
I don't think Clayton had eaten all day either.
Probably not. He has really weird eating habits. He mostly exists off of Lucy and like caffeine. But in any case, they're like debating now if they want the 12 or the 24. And by debating, I don't mean like quietly or calmly or once we got up there, we just ordered. I mean, Matt Dallas and Clayton and Blake are arguing about this, and Soroy. And we're doing it in front of the speaker. And they settled on, we need 2 boxes. We need 24. 12 is not enough. Clayton's like, I'm 8. I'm 8 for sure myself. And this all happens. And then finally, whoever was driving, Blake, was like, we'll take 2 of the party taco boxes. And the lady was like, oh, I can only sell you 1.
What?
And the whole crowd started laughing. She was like, no, I'm just playing.
Yes!
I heard y'all laughing about it. I just wanted to. I was like, all right, lady, having a little fun at the Taco Bell
That's
late night
great.
drive-thru. We're like, you got us.
A fun drive-through.
You got us. And then we got home and we needed 2 boxes.
8, Clayton? You can eat 8 tacos?
He might have pushed into double digits.
I pushed it because Matt was on my ass about it, and
He was challenging you?
well, yeah, and we all sat down around. Like Blake made his little taco bowl. Soroy had a couple.
That's what Blake does now.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's bowl guy.
no carbs guy. And like I'm sitting there, I get to my 6, which is
Allotted.
yeah, and Matt goes, "Oh, I thought you were gonna eat 8." I'm like, Matt, you haven't even touched a taco yet. Like half of us are about ready to go to bed. You haven't touched a taco.
Why are dudes like this?
I don't know.
And he's like,
Because
well,
we
you said
do
you
it
were
with
gonna eat
drinking.
8.
We do it. Oh, I
Yeah.
thought you were going to keep up with me tonight.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, just let him live his taco life. Let him eat as many tacos as he wants.
So I housed 2 more, and on the last one, I just let Matt know on the last bite when I was done with a.
Did you
And I
guys
stare
finish
down.
2 party packs?
Yeah. It was by the time the next morning it was gone when I left. So, yeah, that's our Friday night. It was quite a bit of fun. I drove home Saturday morning, dropped off Soroy around noon, and I slept so freaking much this weekend. I was exhausted, dude.
I was going to tell you this. I have not slept over 7 hours in a couple of years.
Yeah.
And yeah, I went to bed at 11:30 Saturday night, woke up at 8, which is 8.5 hours for those with the math. And I felt like ass all day yesterday. Like
It takes a little time. The
I
weather
finally
didn't help.
got an hour and I got an hour and a half extra sleep. Like over 8 hours sleep. I thought I'm gonna feel great, and I just felt shitty all day, like horrible,
Yeah.
like sick. I don't know if it was sore or just something, but then it's all gone now. I'm feeling fine.
Yeah, the weather wasn't great.
And I slept my customary 6 hours last night, so
Nice.
maybe that's part of it. You want to get less sleep, folks.
Watched a lot of sports. We got a fire drill or something here.
Uh-oh.
What if it's not a drill?
What should we do?
Just
See
roll
what
through
Fiscal
it.
says.
This is how you do it.
Had a couple quick notes to share with you guys. I went to a kids' play place yesterday morning. Met up with a few of the moms and their kids, and the husbands didn't come to the play date. So I was there by myself. So it's like a 2-hour ordeal, and at one point I just went to the car to call my dad. Like, what am I doing in here? The ladies are talking, the kids are playing. I shouldn't even be here.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that I am there changes nothing. So I went outside. So I had a little call with my dad, and this is really gross, but I recorded that guy in the bathroom, so you know what to expect. But as I was getting out of my car, like outside, like I farted pretty loud. I don't know. I wasn't thinking about like, oh, this needs to be silent. In fact, it was probably a fart I was holding in my car. And it was like, oh, now I'm out. I'll fart. But there was a lady that I didn't see getting her kid out of her car, like right next to me, parked. And it was a loud fart, you know? Just an adult man outdoor fart.
Yeah.
And it was like right next to her. And what sucked was she went inside with me. So I was there for like another 45 minutes to an hour, like walking. And this, I mean, there's no way she didn't hear. It was a, it was a gross fart directed at her. And it wasn't like I could tell my wife why this is weird. I just had to bask in the strangeness of it for like the next hour of this lady that just, no. And she was moderately attractive,
Makes it worse.
young mom.
Oh, yeah.
That was pretty gross. Let's see. What else did we do? I just watched a butt ton of sports. Played sports. Had a flag game yesterday in the cold. It was no fun, but fun.
Dude, yesterday was horrible weather.
It was.
Like, what's going on here?
It was. And the whole kid situation, you're just stuck in the house. Or you're trying to do anything. It's just shitty. But yeah, outside of that, man, I watched a boatload of sports. I don't think I did much else. Got back on track for the week.
Let me mention Qualis Roofing because I was going back and forth with Brian about a couple things this weekend. Qualis Roofing is great. They wanted to tell me, or tell us, or tell you, that you know how you get beaten down by the people knocking on the door after there's a big storm?
Oh, yeah. The Church of Latter-day Roofing.
He said they could email you a do not solicit we are with Qualis sign for your front door. And you don't even need to use Qualis, he said. If you just want a, hey, don't bother me, they'd appreciate if you put that sign up.
It worked for my family growing up with an alarm system.
Absolutely.
We never got robbed.
Yeah.
We had we didn't have an alarm at that time.
You ever see they'll sell like the fake camera thing. The little
Okay.
oh yeah. The
The
what do you
ring
call
type thing?
It's like a ring. It's like a round little ball. It's like a thing, but it's shaded like sunglasses, and it's up on the ceiling.
Like at the mall?
But that's where there's
Okay.
a camera inside there. They'll sell that, and you could put it on your porch. I mean, Qualis doesn't sell it,
Qualis
but I'm
doesn't sell
saying
it. I want to be
it's
clear
the
about
comp-
that. Yeah.
The comp here. Qualis, they're a roofing company. They fixed, hell, they put a new roof on my house, on the Dragon Den. They have
did.
helped out, I think we're up to hundreds of our listeners, if not possibly to 1,000. So it's QualisGC.com. They also will pay for a sit-in on your behalf if you end up getting a roof. QualisGC.com.
Everybody wins. They're also hiring project managers, sales, and DFW in Austin. Tons of training, great pay.
You know,
I'll let you be the judge of that, but hit them up. QualisGC.com. Get a roof, a sit-in, a job.
They love the Dumb Zone listener. They really do. 817-500-9008. Oh, even if you just get an inspection, free T-shirt, or a free subscription. This is who Qualis is.
Look, you meet Brian for 2 seconds.
You're like, this guy's going to give me some shit. And he does.
Yeah, I realized that's a boring weekend, but I was in recover mode, man. Did a lot of freaking laundry, dishes, this sort of thing.
Oh, my gosh. So
Doesn't appear that a whole lot happens when I'm gone.
No. My wife did not run the dishwasher once when I was gone.
Dude.
So I came home, and it's
Can I tell you
dishwasher's full,
something?
sink is full.
Full.
'Cause she's
You already
like-
loaded it.
She's like, this is what you do.
I got home and the dishes.
She knows this is my game. I do the dishes. So she just decided I'm not going to do it at all while he's gone. And I'm going to every dish I use,
and the thing
I
that
will
sucks,
leave for him.
If you're me and the kids are there, you're completely castrated. If you suggest anything, then it's like, I'm thinking kids. Like everything would have fallen apart had you, because here's what, I got home, there were no dishes in the sink. I'm like, I didn't leave any in the sink. I left it perfect, but that means she's been doing this. So then I go to get a cup out of the dishwasher, and I'm like, stinky. And I look at her, and she's like, oh, those aren't clean. I'm like, it's full.
Right. That's
She's
exactly
like, yeah, I didn't run it. I'm like, that's the part that's easy. You just put you don't even have, like, you put a pod of soap in there and press a button. It's the one that says wash heavy. It's crazy to me. But anyways, we got it squared away.
You got anything to add, Clayton, Michael, for weekend?
I just slept as much as I possibly could.
It's a tiring week.
That was
Did I say that word weird? Tiring.
Hearing.
that was a lot.
I think Michael was busy being nervous about today.
Yeah.
I called him yesterday.
Did
Hey,
I'm
watch?
glad you're actually thinking about it,
Yeah.
unlike Blake.
I took a lot of notes, transcribed a lot of videos, made a chart.
Ooh, chart.
I love a good chart, bro.
Yeah, that was yesterday. Jake, you said something last week. It's like generic suburban weekend or something like that. That's perfect.
Yeah.
You have a lot of those these days. I've got 2 kids, so it's a lot of just.
What are the ages?
I'm bad with the months.
One's a baby, right?
Yeah, she'll be 1 in June. So for anybody at home doing the math,
Less than 1.
yeah, less than 1. And then my oldest will be 3 this weekend. So it's a lot of like, you're in the playroom.
Yeah.
You're sitting there.
Look, there's absolutely nothing wrong with settling in and accepting the idea that your weekend will largely consist of, maybe you get a little exercise for yourself in,
Yeah.
but, you're going to go watch soccer. You're going to go to play places. You're going to probably have to have a meal with the in-laws. And at night, you're going to get a little high. And if the Rangers get a sweep, you're going to get laid. And these are the only good things that will happen in your life, but they're good enough.
Yeah.
It's pretty sweet.
Some people,
I kind of love it.
you go through that period where you complain like, oh my gosh, look how old we are. Life is over. It's Friday night and we're just sitting in here at home. Like, I love sitting at home on Friday night, bro. Maybe go grocery shopping on Friday night.
Ooh, I went grocery shopping yesterday.
Because it's empty. No one else is there.
So good.
Because you're a loser.
So good.
Yeah, like if errands have to be run, are you quick to throw your hand up? I'll go.
Yeah, and you know what? Sometimes I'll even take my daughter just because it's fun and she's easy.
Yeah.
And it counts as spending time with her.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck it, let's just go hang out. Go to the store. Whatever. Life is good is what I'm telling you, Dan, and it's pretty boring. Although,
Boring lives are good.
big week. Got a big night out Wednesday night, baby.
That's right. That would be some sports talk. You know what, though? Let's start with...
Did we hear your weekend? Are you done?
I thought, what have we been talking about here for 20 minutes?
I don't know. I just feel like you kind of threw it over. You said you slept. You said, I just wanted to make sure you
Yeah,
didn't
I was kind of sick yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dishes weren't done.
I washed all the dishes when I got home.
Okay. Did some finger banging.
Say hello to the hub or whatever. I don't know what I did Saturday night. You want to hear about me? We want to hear about your bracket. And Scenario is the one who had that bracket challenge.
Yeah.
And see, their bit though is it's a data company. You know.
Yes, I do. I'm
data
very intrigued
integration,
by that.
data analytics, custom solutions, and they have a bit right now. Just for our listeners, they will give a free sample dashboard using your data. Send them an Excel or CSV file and explain what you're looking for. They will make an interactive dashboard for you to experience the Scenario platform viewing your data.
Yeah, they're offering 69% off their quick start package, and if you sign a 12-month contract of at least $690 a month, they'll pay for a sit-in. Data at SYNERIO.com, and they will schedule you a data therapy session. Now that we're small business owners, we have data everywhere of all types, and it's always easier if you can just see it all right there. I'm going to get my parents and their business set up with Scenario here in the next couple of weeks, so if you have data all over the place, it's confusing, maybe that's just not really your thing, they can do it for you. So hit them up, data, D-A-T-A, at Scenario, SYNERIO.com. It's data integration, data analytics. Let them make this easy for you with Scenario.
I did watch Duke, or at least the end of the game,
Yeah.
because everybody was talking. Hey, did you say Chappie has Houston?
He had Houston against the field,
Okay.
which, it's a 1 seed, but still,
Yeah.
I didn't think they'd make it this far.
Were they the lowest 1 seed?
That I don't know. I mean, I know they weren't the highest, but I don't
Maybe
know.
Auburn was.
Yeah, I don't know that they were the lowest, but heck, man. Second time I've seen a team just absolutely, heck, I don't know, third or fourth time, but the Tech-Florida game and the Duke-Houston game are both games that members of the losing team will remember forever. That was brutal. And, I know you can take issue with some of the calls or non-calls. Boy, Whitlock had a banger of a tweet on that.
What was it?
Well, there was the play where Cooper Flagg was called for an offensive foul, and it was pretty clearly a defensive foul.
The reaching over the...
Yeah.
Okay.
And a black ref had called the foul, and Whitlock blamed DEI. But it was really interesting.
Jeez.
He actually didn't blame DEI for the call. He blamed DEI for him perceiving it racially. He's like, the DEI culture has made it to where I wonder if this ref made this call because he's black and the player's black and Cooper Flagg is a golden white boy. And he's like, I didn't make it this way. They did.
You're right.
That's insane.
That's genius.
It is. That's what I was saying. As I was first reading the tweet, I was like, this is boring. And then once I realized what he was doing, I was like, yeah, that's actually great.
He's brilliant.
It's this lady's fault for wearing that. I don't know. Generally a pretty boring tournament, man. I don't know if this is the way of the future, if we're just headed towards dominant 5 stars. I mean, I guess on that front, Houston is kind of cool because it's not Duke. And Houston's been in, 7 Final Fours without winning one, the most. But.
Yeah, everybody wants not Duke until you don't have Duke. And now you're like, huh.
Yeah, but I mean, it's
All
Houston. Right. It's not like it's Weber State or something
Yeah.
like that. I don't know. It doesn't feel like that's coming back. But
I was surprised to hear that Houston's never won it before.
Same. If you had told me.
I thought the Ralph Sampson,
Yeah.
Olajuwon era.
Boy, speaking of Akeem, did you see him?
Wait. Were they together? Yeah. No, wait. They were together in Houston, not in college.
Did you see him blocking Olajuwon from getting on the floor?
No.
It's just, I don't know. There's a special type of security guard in the sports world who doesn't know anything about sports, and he basically thinks he's on SEAL Team 6. and he's going to carry it like that. And it's just confused old Hakeem, like, why can't I? I know he's not Dikembe, but it's the same voice to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty boring tournament. Pretty boring tournament. But then yesterday, and really over the weekend, we had 2 Mavs games, of which they were destroyed in both. Saturday's game was straight up embarrassing. I went back and watched that on Sunday morning. They were healthy sans, Gafford, but they started Washington, Lively, and Davis for the first time together. And
Yeah, like that was going to be real scary. That was the bit, right?
well, I mean, yes, and I know you're super down on him, but playing 2 bigs that can both play big isn't at least an interesting idea. It's working for some other teams, but they don't have a point guard. Spencer Dinwiddie is playing point guard, and it's a disgusting watch most nights. So they are flirting with the 10 seed. So despite the fact that their ownership group is trying to give away tickets to a home play-in game to all season ticket holders, most of which are probably not all that interested in going, that game starting to look like it's not going to happen.
So with the standings, is there any chance they just don't make the playoffs?
It's extremely, extremely small, man. Like 1%.
Because
Phoenix
really?
Phoenix has lost 6 in a row. Durant's out with no sign of coming back. That's the only other team that hasn't been eliminated, and it's only by
Okay, so they're 3 games ahead of
yeah, they're gonna get in.
the Suns. That's amazing. It really is amazing because I thought if I'm to believe a conspiracy theory for the Mavs, it would be that don't worry, you're going to get Cooper Flag. We'll make this happen, but then you guys got to do your part and miss the playoffs.
I mean, do you know what are the odds for the number 1 pick at pick 13?
Very, very, very low.
I mean,
but what are the odds that anybody would trade Luka Doncic?
Yeah. No, I mean,
it's so funny because
happened, I guess.
I'll listen to who's the guy that's back? Oh, Zach Lowe.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I listen to him. I listen to Hoop Collective. All the big national NBA talkers. It's been 2 months, and they're still like, anytime you bring up the Luka trade, they're like, don't know, can't figure it out, don't know why, doesn't make any sense. Even if everything the Mavs said was right, I still hate it. Still hate it based on the haul you got. How can you sit there and watch Austin Reeves, and say, how is he not on the Mavs? You have to demand that. You have to demand everybody but LeBron. You have to demand, hell, if you demanded LeBron, they would have to give him to you because you are offering Luka. And so if you think I'm going to forget about it, being here and having already planned the next decade of my life to be enjoying this guy in front of me, even the NBA bigwigs can't, anybody that ever brings it up. This is not something that, okay, we'll move on now because it just happened. It's still, this is what happens when it's the worst trade in NBA history. You're going to talk about it for a while. Not for just the rest of this year. For the rest of your life.
Yeah.
You're going to talk about this. Any trade that is made from here on out, you're going to look back at this. When I see somebody that is sentenced for a crime, I will always say, yeah, but Ethan Couch walked away, but this guy gets 14 years for stealing something. Not Ethan. Was it Ethan Couch?
The influenza?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Affluenza. The point is, I look
This'll
at that.
be
That was such a big thing. It's oh my gosh! And then everything in the future, I will go back to that and go, how does it rank against that? That's what you're going to do. You're going to have. Guys, the 5 biggest trades before Luka ended up getting a bigger haul for those guys, and the next, the next big trade that happens, you're going to say, my gosh, how did they not get more for? You're going to keep looking back at the Luka trade. It's never going to leave you. And especially because, yes, you sent him to the one team that you shouldn't send him to. Like, I'd rather have him sent to the Celtics.
Oh,
Then you would only play him once or twice a year. But now you're going to see him all the time.
Houston and San Antonio would have been the only two I just couldn't handle. I mean, it's bad either way. But
yeah, this one's real
this
bad.
Is the only one those are the only two that aren't worse. And yeah, he was phenomenal yesterday. They played Oklahoma City. The Lakers haven't really had any big wins, over good teams lately. I'm trying to think back what would count as that, but he was it was his best game as a Laker. He was in full control. He hit his first step back three of the game like it was nothing. I watched Redick's post-game interview, and there was one play in particular. I think it was a Gabe. You've probably seen it. It was a Gabe Vincent corner three where, the play was for Luka to drive the lane and kick out to three. But instead of kicking out, he got all the way into the lane, and now Vincent was behind him. Well, no problem. He just simply did one of those throw it directly backward behind his back. And Vincent's like, oh, shit. Caught it and money.
See, guys that play with him have to get used to that.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, I should just remember I always have to look.
It didn't look real. I mean, except I've seen him do it 10 times in Dallas. But he was just phenomenal. And they destroyed Oklahoma City. Now, maybe Oklahoma City doesn't care because they already have seating locked up, but the Lakers are playing well right now. And, there's kind of a why not us in the West thing. I don't know. The Clippers are playing really well, the Warriors, but I don't know. I'm excited to watch Luka in the playoffs. It's going to be a great postseason, and I'm glad that he's a part of it. My Mavs thoughts for the day are I think we're going to go Luka free Tuesday tomorrow, and then Wednesday's show is going to be awesome. TC and Soroy are going to come in here. We're going to start late, like around 3, and then TC and I are going to take the train down to the plaza. Mikey and Dan will be here, and then we'll be down there and try to do the show. So very excited about Wednesday. But something that kind of flew under the radar a little bit last week, we had the story of Gavin Malloy, former Mavs employee, guy who's worked in entertainment around Dallas for a long time, and the Facebook dust-up he had with Cuban. We talked about that story like 2 days after it happened, and then in the perpetual confusion I have with the news cycle, it took about a week for it to become a national story, but then it did. And part of what Cuban said in that Facebook rant that made news was that, I'll just read it. Actually, I fully expected to run basketball. The NBA wouldn't let me put it in the contract. They took it out. I thought they would stick to their word because they didn't know the first thing about running a team. Someone obviously changed their mind. Well, if you recall in that Tom Segura interview with Cuban, he referenced the Celtics sale. And it's different than the Celtics thing. And he just kind of threw that out there as like a smokescreen, which the situation with the Celtics sale is that their current CEO is going to stay in the role through 27-28. So they did put that in the contract. Silver doesn't consider the two situations similar and said the situation was very different in Dallas. There was a clear change in control of the franchise to the Dumont family. Any decision as to what Mark's role would be in basketball ops was a function of an arrangement between Cuban and Dumont. Whether or not his expectation was that he would have played more of a role in basketball ops, I don't think Mark has ever suggested that there was a contractual issue at play here. That was just his understanding of what the arrangement would be between him and Dumont. And I was telling somebody this the other morning when they asked me about this. When Cuban did that, the league wouldn't let me put it in there. He's popping off at the mouth. I feel like we've heard him talk enough times over the years to know.
So he lied.
I don't know that it's as much lying as saying something like, hey, can we put that in there? And the Dumont's saying no. Or the league saying, that's a bit tricky. We're going to have to work on it. There is, it wasn't an immediate rubber stamp, yes, green light, that's in the deal. So he, speaking extemporaneously, is like, nah, league said no. Well, the Celtics owner and CEO are, same person, working it out. He lost. And now he's trying to publicly save face. And the league is like, oh, no. We didn't tell you couldn't put it in there. It's just not in there. Now you figure out how that happened.
Yeah, that does make him save face because that's something you had brought up a while back is why this guy, Mark Cuban, who is on top of everything, wouldn't have made sure that's in there.
Yeah.
Like would have just done a verbal agreement or a handshake deal. That doesn't seem like stuff Mark Cuban does.
I mean, it's not just me, but I'm going to selfishly say that I think he started saying that after people in the media started really making that a topic. Like, what happened here, dude? Because like, the Segura thing was not long after that, and he kind of just got into it. Like, oh, they said I couldn't do it. I don't know that I buy that. And Adam Silver straight up coming out and saying, that's not how we see it. We don't see it as a contract thing. So,
see, I love Cuban for all he's done. Are you mad at Cuban?
I think both are true.
We're trying to be mad somewhere.
No, I mean, both are true.
I mean, are we mad at him for actually just selling to this team without putting that stuff in there? Or is it that it's so incredulous that he never would have thought, I got to make sure, like, because the only reason we are mad is because we're not mad they lost Cuban. We're mad they lost Luka.
Yeah, so, but I mean, that's obviously related. One is the same.
But he would never think of, I have to put in that you have to make sure you don't trade this guy, because nobody would trade this guy.
No, but he did hire Nico. Maybe he didn't know Nico as well as he thought, but he did bring a guy in who executed a coup against him under the leadership of people that he sold the team to. So I don't know. I mean, yeah, he's a big part of the reason I love basketball. Big part of the reason I got into, learning numbers and analytics in the NBA. And Dirk was here because of Cuban and stayed here because of Cuban. So I love the guy for what he's meant to me in my life, but this is it is what it is. I mean, I think this is an overshadowing part of his legacy. I don't know how it's not. I'm never going to think of the Mavericks ever again for the rest of my life in any other way than the team that traded Luka Doncic when he was 25.
And it's nowhere near the same thing when he let Nash walk, but it was a pretty big deal. And to his great credit, he did not go hide in the shadows like Dumont and Nico Harrison are doing now and have been doing.
Hell, he wrote like a 15,000-word blog.
He was head on. I remember him calling our show just to jump on because he heard us talking about it and wanted, like, he had his reasons, and nobody liked those reasons. And it actually turned out that everybody else was right in the long run.
Tyson Chandler's situation, not that different. I still think there was sound logic to that, but he didn't run from that. He was out, read the CBA.
Right. So, I mean, not that I want to hear Nico talking every day, but it does seem cowardly the way they are reacting here.
What do you think Wednesday night will be like for, like, do you think Dumont's in his seat?
I don't know.
Because if he is, Luka's going to terrorize him.
There's no way.
Dumont?
There's no way
Nico I don't
think
Dumont's is in the crowd. I think that would be a bad idea.
You think it'd be a bad idea for a GM to be in the crowd at his own home game?
I do.
2 months after a trade.
I do. I mean, he hasn't done it much. He's done it a little, and I think he should not this time. But Dumont, I mean, I don't know. You're down there on the floor. You're a bit insulated from it. But, I mean, I think we need to have a sell the team chant. I don't know how to, like, get this information out there, and I certainly don't think I'm the one to be like, hey, I'm going to come up with a list of chants. But we do have this platform, and I think sell the team should be one of them. What I'm debating
Obviously,
is like when to do. I think in the first quarter, every single time the Lakers are at the line, you go fire Nico. I think you might do it every time the Lakers. I don't know. I feel like when Luka's got the ball, it's MVP.
All right, I have a lot to say about this for predictions. But first, let's work in and talking about Ownwell for a second. Ownwell They got some new copy points today, too. So
That is because tax assessments are coming up.
Oh, yeah.
General deadline, May 15th. So ownwell.com, the dumb zone. Ownwell.com/thedumbzone will help you save on those property taxes. Like I mentioned with some of our other commercial partners here, they're here to save you time. Protesting your property taxes, the appeal, a massive, massive beating. We've done it, and we gave up. We eventually just gave up. Ownwell won't. They will fight for you.
You know how you can prove these things sometimes?
You can't.
Well, no, you can't.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, you're not really following me.
No, I was kidding, but go on. I was hoping you would respond
I'm
with
not following
a
you.
trove of data.
The way you can follow these things, over 1,800 reviews online.
Wow, just like the Alamo.
Like Christopher D., who said, couldn't have been easier. I just gave them my address, and they took it from there. No filing appeals or spending hours to prepare for a hearing to defend my value. Ownwell does it all. No doubt better than I could have done myself. I saved $1,500 on my property taxes. Highly recommend. You can go to ownwell.com/testimonials and see more of those. Or just go to ownwell.com/thedumbzone.
Unless you like throwing a bunch of money away on property taxes, and then in which case, go for it. Do it.
Yeah, you support big government. So this Luka thing Wednesday night. What's really weird, everything's weird about this whole trade. But we've never seen an opposite A-Rod. There's been A-Rod situations before when a beloved local athlete leaves, and then when they come back, it is booed. And so when A-Rod first went back to Seattle after signing with the Rangers, do you remember like local radio stations were printing fake money, and they were confetti money throwing at him and booing him every time he comes up. You've seen it in the NBA for different plays. Guy, every time he touches the ball, he gets booed.
DeAndre Jordan, when he came here after spurning the Mavericks.
Yeah, you see a home crowd booing an opposing player, but you've never seen an opposing player come somewhere to be more popular than the home team.
Yeah.
And this arena will be rooting for Luka Doncic to win this game.
Well, I mean, the only thing I could think of
And
is
to
if you were
score.
like an end-of-career legend, right? Like when Dirk was in San Antonio his last year and they were like cheering him on.
Okay, yeah, but there wasn't that vitriol. It was cheering, but it wasn't like, I sure hope Dirk beats the Spurs tonight.
Yeah.
Like, I definitely want my team to lose and for the ownership to feel so embarrassed they sell the team and fire the GM.
No, it's a once-in-a-lifetime.
It's going to be so loud. And I really wonder, because no one's ever felt like this, how will Luka even react?
Yeah.
Because at first you were thinking Luka is going to want to just destroy the Mavs, but is he going to just be kind of sad? Are you going to cry?
Yeah, probably.
Jake?
Yeah, no, there's a chance. There's a decent chance. Just seeing him,
There's going to be so many
in person is going to be.
Laker 77s.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Laker fan, so I don't know what to tell you. Those are my people.
I can't even imagine what this is going to be like.
It's going to be insane. In the first matchup when they played out in L.A.
LeBron came back, but LeBron, I don't know that he was. Well, yeah, that was getting booed. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say,
LeBron came back and got booed in Cleveland.
He was a little bit reserved in the game in L.A. He had a big night box score-wise, but he didn't, take over.
But this one will be, he's in that arena, but he's going to turn right to go to the visitors' locker room instead.
Yeah. Well, we still know where
everything
his
is
spots
going
are.
to be so familiar to him, but it's going to be not. And he's going to, after it's timeout, he's going to walk to the other bench. I feel so bad for my little guy. My little guy. Why do I feel bad for him?
Because he was sad. You could very clearly tell. He's not sad anymore, by the way. He may get a little emotional coming back here, but they're having fun. He's destroying people again. He's toying with people. I don't even know what LeBron had yesterday. They don't need him. on days like yesterday. He's going to destroy Dallas. He's going to destroy that too big thing they're trying to do. What a lively game. He's going to have 40. This one I feel good about. He'll have 40. Partially, well, it is the second night of a back-to-back, and they do have Oklahoma City again Tuesday night, so maybe I should chill out on that. But I think he's going to be filling it up in this game.
Is there any chance they rest him Tuesday night?
I just have so many questions about
Not Wednesday.
Is there a video tribute, Is there –
I feel like there has been a hastily thrown together one. Because doesn't it feel like they do one for they did one for somebody else a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
Maybe
Quentin
I'm
Grimes maybe. No? Maxey? Something. They did something.
Is there a video tribute for Quentin Grimes? Do we have that?
They did something recently. I don't know.
Derrick Jones Jr.?
Maybe.
How could you, in a sense of how can you not, but after all that's been said and done since the trade, how could you?
Yeah, it's really weird.
All you do is taking him out of all your videos.
I unfortunately have to break to pee again.
All right.
I'll just go. You guys can keep going.
We'll take a quick break here, folks.
The Dumb Zone. You're listening to The Dumb Zone.
So unprofessional.
I'm sorry. I really am.
Let's just at least plug the fact that we're going to be out at the Byron Nelson May 2nd, Friday.
Oh, yeah.
I love golf.
This is going to be a party. The CJ Cup at the Byron Nelson. General admission is $75, and we will be there. And come by and watch us cheer on. Oh, Willie Z. I know you're a Willie Z guy.
That's right. It rhymes with some stuff.
What?
Isn't his last name Zalatoris?
Yeah.
There you go.
So come on out to the Byron that day. What's the date of ours? May 2nd?
Friday, May 2nd.
We will be there probably going around noon, maybe a little bit after. We'll have Soroy out there with us, both Soroys. Great food and drink. So come on out there. Come see us that Friday. Byron Nelson.
Okay, want to do some viewer mail?
Sure.
Hey, everybody. It's time to answer some of today's viewer mail.
I know you have most of a certain variety.
I do. I have a fresh batch of beets for my beet farm.
But I have a little follow-up on Gretzky versus Ovechkin.
Yeah, man. What a day.
So Ovechkin... Oh, you know what? I put a picture in there, too, for kind of a bad bid. It was an Ovechkin picture. Get Jake's take on this. But it was just everybody's got to run out and tweet their congratulations. So this is Major League Baseball tweeted this. I guess it's Ovechkin wearing, did they Photoshop that, or did he come out and throw out the first pitch sometime?
Yeah, I think this is probably not a Photoshop.
So is this okay?
Maybe they got a little bit. Not really.
It's him wearing a Washington Nationals, uniform, basically. And then it says the great one, because it's GR and then number 8.
Mm-hmm.
That's the bit. As he passes Wayne Gretzky.
And it says 895 on the image, and it's got the seams of a baseball.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
That's really bad. No, that's a bad tweet.
But Matt Dallas says, as we were talking about the other day, but puts it into context, what makes him greatest, Gretzky, and not even Ovechkin's nowhere near Gretzky, is the assist total. Gretzky now number 2 in goals. But, and another buddy, actually, from the ticket, texted me, so I won't tell you who it was. Not to get them in trouble. Because they can't text friends. He says, it's the same thing Matt says here. If you take away all 894 of his goals and count only his assists, he's still the NHL's all-time leading scorer.
In points.
As if he's never scored a goal at all he still leads everybody if you add their goals and assists.
Here's what
Yeah,
I guess what is weird to me about this whole discussion, maybe I just don't understand it. I don't think anybody. I never thought anybody was saying that Ovi was gonna be on par with or pass Gretzky as the greatest, but he is the greatest goal scorer of all time. And I don't think that's really. I mean, I read a lot about this, but it's intuitive. Scoring goals now, way harder
than in the Gretzky era. Yeah,
true. And he did it in the same number of games, but I don't know. I think this is that Ovechkin is a better goal scorer, and Gretzky's is the best hockey player of all time. But if you look at just
at shots on goal?
What that?
I thought I read that Ovechkin had significantly more
shots on goal. So as a shooter, he's not. Yeah, I mean, I guess in those are situations where Gretzky was passing and getting points rather than missed shots, but. Yeah, I mean, whether it's the size of pads that guys wear, like if you go back and watch Gretzky highlights, I don't know. It's not. I'm not saying it's easy,
You're right.
But it is crazy.
There were 50, 60 goal scorers in the league.
Yeah, the league-wide save percentage when he scored 92 goals, which I can't believe is a real sentence, was .878, and it's like 96 now or something. There's a goal more scored per game back then than now.
Which is odd.
I know.
Because usually as leagues develop, they try to keep offense keeps growing.
Yes. I used to look at this all the time. Let me pull it up here. The season average thing.
Like, don't you feel like if the hockey of the 80s existed today, the NHL would be a lot more popular?
Yes. Yes. I mean, heck, in all the way through the 80s, there were almost 4 goals a game per team per game, and now it's under 3. That's crazy. I mean, imagine if if the average NFL team went from scoring 28 to 21 points in a game over any stretch of time. You'd say that was crazy. But anyways, to my knowledge, Alexander Ovechkin's wife never hit in the face with a puck while he continued to play, and also never implicated in an FBI gambling scheme called Operation Slapshot.
Did Gretzky also step in it here with Trump recently, or was he pro? Remember
he's a big Trump guy, and I listened to a couple reports, maybe one was the Daily or something, where this was putting Canadian people in quite the awkward position.
Because it was the booing Canada booing our national anthem, but Gretzky's there, and yeah.
I mean, he's a national hero, and nobody is lower in the minds of Canadians right now than Trump, or at least that's the way it's presented to us.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've always had not obsession, but a fascination with Ovechkin. I used to have a shirt with one of his sayings on it. I think it was even a website.
Ovechkin has sayings?
Russian machine never break. Like they would ask him, because he's played an insane number of games and he's old and he still plays.
Did anybody follow up with the Chernobyl or what that
wasn't broken? User error.
Okay.
But yeah, Russian. Yeah, I don't know if he actually said it or not, but
it sounds like something a Russian would say.
Russian machine never break. Yeah, I just wanted to run through a couple from the Beat Farm. A couple pretty generic ones here. I do get a lot of emails from people that are what they call beat adjacent. Like last week, talking about a cop walking up on you and you're at make out point, you're all naked. That's not really a beat, but it's from the same makers of, which is just sexual shame. And I've never been in that spot, but I did get a couple listeners that are like, man.
Well, when you say sexual shame, we all, I think, can relate to that.
In one way or another. Yeah, because it was a guy who emailed me and said that in high school, him and his girlfriend, when they would, do it in his bedroom, he would go to the bathroom and he would come back and he would do his mom's voice. Like, Derek, come up here. To scare his girlfriend, but she clearly knew it was him.
Mm.
And then one time it wasn't him. And she was just naked in his bed on top of the covers. And his mom, she's laughing yeah. because she's like, Derek. It's just the mom. Said I'm 51. I remember it like it was yesterday. This is a wild one. Do you remember a few weeks back when Blake was bitching about his printer?
Yeah, Run the Ball guy was upset.
Yeah, and how he has to subscribe for ink.
Yeah.
And he was going to cancel it.
I never heard of that.
So this made him think of that. He said, like most late 90s households, we had one family computer and printer in a common area. I wasn't as bold as Blake to pull down my pants in a room without a door, so my hack was to print out pictures from E-Bomb's World and College Humor. Take them to my room. This very quickly drained all the color ink. I kept going to my mom to explain how I had to have color ink for school, but she complained how expensive it was and wanted to know what projects I needed it for. Well, crunch time comes when Brooke Burke, star of Wild On, poses for Playboy. I found some homemade scans of the physical magazine and started printing, but we are completely out of yellow and is it cyan or cyan? It's blue, folks. We do have magenta, so I'm just getting red outlines of the pictures. I'm desperate, so I keep printing as the magenta begins to run dry and begins to get more faint. I run to my room and finish my business, and I remember the moment of clarity, realizing that I just beat off to just extremely faint squiggly lines. Like scenario, I hope you have fun with this data. But that, like, the post-clarity where you're looking at it, I mean, sometimes you look at it and you're like, this is disgusting. I can't believe this was just playing in front of my eyes.
Let me ask, though.
But then if you look down and it's just like a squiggly, busted, half ink cartridge thing of lines, at some point you're like having a what have I become moment.
Okay, well, I was going to ask the definition of bad beat here. Because I get it when Blake's mom walks in on him and he's pants around his ankles and he's in the laundry room because that's where the home computer was. But if we're just dealing with things that, like, certainly as a young man, I have paused a cable TV station or, recorded it first and then paused it on the VHS tape where you can kind of see a boob in Animal House when the chick's jumping out of the back of the car when they were at the bar and they were playing Shout. Like, so I've paused it there.
I mean, at the
perfect
time,
but is that a bad beat? It was not.
It was not.
It was great.
Today,
because I caught it perfect.
It might be like,
but it's the same as, I used my mom's Sears catalog or something. I've done it. But
yes.
I don't consider that a bad beat.
I think, like, for example,
now, if she caught me.
In this guy's
that's
case,
bad.
Had you had simply a torn out page of that Sears catalog and you just had, like, the legs, that's a bad beat. Like,
okay.
If this guy was trying to print a picture of Brooke Burke and all he got was squiggly magenta lines. He didn't get the picture of Brooke Burke.
His head was already in the game.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, if you had like an eye, like her face was torn off and you just had one eye and you're like, this is going to have to work, that's a bad beat. This guy, I was preparing for
you're the rule keeper.
I was preparing for my 8th grade Valentine's dance in 99. I needed to get the evil out. I pulled up the tape of strip poker episodes, which we've talked about before. It was a show that would come on like CW33. As I'm approaching my ultimate goal, I rise from my seat for a better look when my mom walks in and we lock eyes before she quickly backs out. As if that weren't bad enough, I had some stomach bug and had to be picked up by my mom 2 hours into the dance. As we rode home in silence and shame, we only had to pull over the Windstar twice for me to vomit. My mom would die unexpectedly about 6 months later. Hopefully this didn't lead to the brain aneurysm. Thanks for bringing it up.
Jeez.
Man, locking eyes with your mom in that situation.
And then my last one
Just
here.
getting caught.
I've never done it.
By anyone.
I've never had it happen.
As bad as it could ever get.
It feels like when a human being most resembles a dog that's taking a dump, where it's embarrassed by it and it's kind of its legs are all weird and it's looking around.
Our dogs, because I think that. Am I projecting on him?
Maybe.
Or
they look embarrassed.
Is he actually? Yeah. So I try to look away.
So do I.
Yeah. I'll let you have your privacy.
And then our last one here, I think this is going to land for a lot of people. And I didn't pull an image, but if you're able to pull it up, Clayton. This guy says, when I was 13, I was obsessed with getting to play a computer game called Leisure Suit Larry. Now, does anyone else remember Leisure Suit Larry? It was a computer game, but you were like, it was almost like an early version of The Sims, but you were like a swinging singles guy who would nail chicks.
Really?
Yeah, it was like an adult comedy sex-themed game, and there were nudes in it. It was basically like you were Quagmire. You know what I mean? He was just some old, creepy guy. And they made like 4 or 5 versions of it. He said, I never got to play, but the fact that it was a computer game with naked women was a very big deal back in the day. Would love to hear if you've heard of this game. And I certainly had. I think there are a lot of people out there who were trying to find a friend who's could get a hold of Leisure Suit Larry. There it is. The PlayStation version. Yeah, magna cum laude. I believe that was when Leisure Suit Larry went to college. The whole point of the game was just to drink and nail chicks.
Yeah, those. See, this is my point too. Those chicks are really hot. That's way better than any Sears catalog that I've ever had.
No, but I think the deal here would be you have to figure out how to convince someone to get you a computer game that's not, bubble pop.
You ever get attracted to a mannequin?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They don't really make mannequins with my preferred proportions, though.
They make them very skinny now.
I know. Way, way skinny. So shout out to Leisure Suit Larry, and there's some beats for you. JKEMP88@gmail.com.
You are the guy, the keeper of the bad beat.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just end email with a quickie. Robert is holding out hope for the year of Jake. He says, you're likely aware that many organizations have fiscal years that do not match the calendar year. If No Puppet Productions were to set their fiscal year to start in, say, March or April, this could be the fiscal year of Jake.
Certainly possible. It doesn't feel fiscal or otherwise like this is really my year. The Luka thing is going to set me back a long time.
That's the thing.
And the Cowboys won't win the Super Bowl until next year with Joe Milton III dealing.
While we wait for Jared Sandler, are we waiting for Jared Sandler? Okay.
Look, I'll check the texts.
We could tell you about Lucy. Lucy is
I got any Lucy on me to show off?
the, what do you call it? Nicotine pouch.
That's right.
Tobacco free. I was thinking in my head tobacco, but that's what we're trying to get rid of.
Yeah.
And Lucy has done that. And they're not owned by Big Tobacco either. So sometimes you're using these tobacco-free products, and you're like, oh, cool, I'm not supporting Big. No, you actually are.
You are.
They are the mom-and-pop store of pouches. They're the dumb zone of nicotine pouches.
That's right.
Because they have a little extra surprise in there. You never know what you're going to get with it.
The Breaker.
Yeah.
The Lucy Breaker give you a little extra flavor, a little extra juice in there. 100% pure nicotine. I got our friend Mike Soroy to try a few Lucy's on our trip. He is a convert. I'm a big fan of the Morning Lucy. Get yourself your coffee, get to work there.
Dude, I love the one you gave me the other day. It had like, what's the level? 12 or
yeah, they make some big boys for
for just one little guy. And it used to be you'd have to have a mouthful of chew for that, and then you'd be spitting all over the place. What about one little pouch? And there you go. You're feeling it.
You are feeling it. So get yourself some breakers at lucy.co/dumbzone. Use the promo code dumbzone to get 20% off your first order. Dan's right. These are
Dan's always right.
These are a better quality. You've smoked like maybe you haven't, but you've had like regular big box dip or smokes before. They're gross.
Mm-hmm.
They're gross. They're mass produced.
Dirty. Kind of.
Yeah. Lucy.co/dumbzone. Use promo code dumbzone. You'll get 20% off your first order. And here comes the fine print. What's so fine about it?
It's awesome.
Lucy products are only for adults of legal age, and every order is age verified. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Yeah, bro.
Good for a baseball game. He said at 12:57. Oh, we got a problem on the home front, boys.
What do you got going?
Got a sick kid, and he's got the flu.
Oh, no.
He's got the test back. Ah!
I feel like before COVID, I had never heard of a flu test. Well, it's probably the flu. He's got the fever. But there was never like, I'm going to go to the doctor and confirm with a swab. This is the flu.
The strep test, right? Now they do strep and flu test.
Oh, okay.
And we got an email Friday that said somebody in the class probably had it. And then last night he seemed kind of weird. And this morning he seemed real weird.
I actually don't know that I've ever had a kid with the flu.
I don't think I've ever had the flu.
And
for most of my life, I haven't done the shot. I have the last few years, though.
I think I did once because I remember it kept me out of the ticket for like 2 days, and I had not missed a day of work in 18 years or something like that.
Hey.
Yeah.
Attendance is a bit of an issue.
That's all right. I mean, that's who I am. But
yeah, it's not ideal. My wife is leaving town tomorrow morning for the rest of the week. We have the Lakers game on Wednesday. It's just
oh dear.
We'll figure it out. All right, I'm going to start talking.
Can we cryogenically freeze your kid for like 2 days? Does that work?
Yeah. Talk me through it.
Do you think there's a future where we'll be able to do that?
For the flu.
Would you be able to you're slowing down all the body, but then you can just get well in some kind of a suspended state.
Like a medically induced coma.
Yeah.
And we just, for the flu.
And then you don't have to deal with the person and they won't be infecting. And because everything is slowed down, I wonder if that would slow down the healing too.
It's something to work on. It's kind of like Pregnancy Island.
Yeah. But it
could be stored locally. Anyways, the Rangers are 8-2. And as Letty reminded us, I think it was Letty, I hope everybody got some sweep sex last night.
Yeah, the Letty crew with the bus. He says if there's ever, their wives all know.
He says he's here, whatever.
That there will be sex if the Rangers sweep. Jared's here or no?
He says he's here.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll wait for Clayton to let me know that.
I had my Victory Plus up yesterday on one screen, and then my Stars on the other screen because they were on national TV, and then my Lakers on the other screen.
So how about this? Jared's going to give some trivia in a little bit to give away a pair of Rangers tickets to a future game.
Lovely.
But I also have some. Did you see that the Rangers have the worst batting average in baseball at 192, but the most wins in baseball at 8, or at least in the American League?
How are we feeling? He not there? What would you like me to tell him? Oh, okay.
There's been 6 teams in the history of baseball that won 8 out of 10 games, so
80 point?
8 games in a 10-game span, yeah. With a team batting average of 192 or worse, the Rangers just did that. 6 other teams have ever done that.
Ever?
4 of them went to the World Series that year.
Damn. I mean, it does feel like if you could have it that way or the other, right? Like if you said only 6 teams ever have gone 8-2 with a 6+ ERA through 10 teams, you'd be like, oh.
So is that the
doesn't...
indicator? Like, boy, they must have been getting some great pitching during that 10-game span, and great pitching is what you really want?
I would think so. And if you, I spent a lot of time kind of going through their first 10 games and how real it is or not. I mean, they've got like a +1 or -1 run differential, I'm pretty sure. They're 5-0 in 1-run games.
Well, wasn't it the Red Series? They were outscored 14-5, and they won the series 2-1.
I think he is here.
Well, again,
can you hear me?
Hello,
I'm
Jared.
going to wait for Clayton, but I'm going
what's
to
up, guys?
Welcome, Jared, with this.
Jared Sadler, super smart, African-American man. Jared Sadler, you are an incredible baseball fan.
All right, yeah, kind of a Boss Stones feel to it.
That is awesome.
Unfortunately, it's not done.
Mavs wanna hear what you have to say, which we all consider not gay. Hey, Jared, we're all stupid. Shoot us in our baseball hearts like Cupid. Keep us entertained until the fall.
It's a little long for my taste.
A little long.
but
The first part's good, though.
Jared Sadler, super smart.
We're accepting.
African-American man. Jared Sadler, you are an incredible baseball fan.
Oh, and quite abrupt.
A little abrupt. We got a sponsor for Jared this week. It's Underdog Fantasy Sports.
Fitting.
Or is it, do we call this fantasy sports?
Yeah, I think so.
Anyway, it's very cool. It's like our new sponsor, Underdog. And what you do is you go on there and you will pick, it's kind of like a parlay game.
Mm-hmm.
So you pick a couple of different, at least two players, and you pit them against each other, and you are picking what they do in a certain game. So, for instance, yesterday, I picked Luka, and they ask you, do you want to go higher or lower on points, rebounds, and assists? You could pick just assists. You could pick some stat. It doesn't matter. But so you pick the player you want, and it said 42.5 points, rebounds, and assists added up. Higher or lower? I picked higher. And then because I think SGA is overrated, especially if you are rating him ahead of Luka Doncic, I put him head-to-head with Luka. They said his points, rebounds, and assists, 43.5. I picked lower on him and higher on Luka. And add up Luka's box score from yesterday. You got 30 points, so I had 42.5. And I said higher. Okay? He scored 30 points. He had 7 rebounds. What's that?
37.
Plus 6 assists. What is that?
That is 43.
And I said higher than 42.5, and I won!
Making some money!
With Underdog. What's the website and stuff?
What's the website and stuff? Well, I'd like to direct you to the app, the Underdog app. And then you sign up, and I got a promo code for you. It is TMD. TMD to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Go check it out right now. UnderdogFantasy.com or download the app and use promo code TMD to have some wagering fun like Dan did. And I think I'll be doing this. Actually, I already did it tonight for the Rangers. I got a Simeon home run, which we could use right now, Jared.
Oh,
Indeed.
did I mention
nice.
that you must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Massachusetts and Arizona, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates? Terms apply. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit npcgambling.org. In Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
All right.
Right?
Yeah.
That was just off the top of my head,
Okay.
conversationally.
Yep.
All right, Jared, we're out of time. Thanks for joining us.
See you guys. Hey, thanks so much. A lot of fun.
8-2, bro.
Hey, what about that?
Do you know about sweepstakes? That's the first thing you can work into the broadcast.
Okay. I'd hate to say no to the very first suggestion, but I think I'm entitled to after waiting about a month. I needed your help to get me through spring training games, and you didn't deliver. So
It's very true.
I did not know about that. I need to make sure I tell my wife about that for future opportunities.
Yeah, look, this season might be fruitful. 5-0 and 1-run games. So I don't know where you want to start. Dan said it there. They have the top ERA for starters in the major leagues, which is crazy. And the bullpen's done enough. So you take it where you want.
Well, I'll start with, I heard Dan talk about the low batting average, and that obviously can't sustain, right? That's not you're not winning 8 out of 10 games. You're not winning 6 out of 10 games with a batting average hovering around 200. But, and I'm not an anti-batting average guy, but I am there's more to life than batting average. And the Rangers have not gotten a lot of hits, but a pretty high percentage of their hits have gone for home runs. And so the other day they beat Tampa, despite getting out hit 10-4, but 3 of their 4 hits were home runs, including Wyatt Langford's homer in the 7th. So it's not like they're, the bomb squad by any means yet, but they are doing a good job of, I shouldn't say good job. It's not like they're strategically allocating their hits between singles, doubles, triples, and homers, but they have hit the home run ball, and that was a point of emphasis, was being able to do that last year. Because last year they weren't hitting either, but they also weren't hitting nearly as many home runs. And now I'll just segue to where I'm sitting right now, which is the press box at Wrigley Field, where the Rangers have only hit 1 home run in their last 7 games here, and it is currently snowing. So the Rangers might play the coldest game in franchise history tonight based on game time temp, with chances of game time temperature hovering around 32, 33 degrees.
Wow. And tonight's an Eovaldi night, right?
It is, yeah, and he's actually got a little bit of experience pitching in this type of weather, and he's been, as you can imagine, good. I asked him yesterday if he likes it. And most pitchers say they do like pitching in the cold because they feel like they've got the advantage. The one challenge sometimes is grip. You get cold and you lose. You don't have like the sweat, and you don't have the ability to grip the ball, but they got ways around that. And he loves it. The numbers back it up. He's had success pitching in cold weather games. And the Rangers in the last 30 years have played 3 games, sub 40 game time temp, and they're actually 2-1, including their most recent one, which was 2013 here at Wrigley Field. Derek Holland went 7 shutout. Adrian Beltre, who's celebrating a birthday today, had a double and a homer. So in a very abbreviated history of cold weather games, 2 of which, by the way, were in Arlington, oddly enough, the Rangers have had success.
So how do you like doing the pregame and all that kind of stuff now?
It's been fun. It's fun when they win, obviously. They go through a 2-8 stretch, which will invariably happen at some point this year. It might be a little more challenging, but it's been a blast. I feel like so far, and I would love if any DFs listening feel otherwise or watching as well. I feel like, and maybe I said this to you guys a couple weeks ago, anything we do either needs to be fun and entertaining or informative, and hopefully in some cases both. And I feel like so far we've done a good job of that. Like yesterday, Dave Raymond and I, after the game Saturday, we raced. He called me short, I called him old, so we decided to challenge one another to a race. And then we looped that into just the Rangers base running in general, which, by the way, they've stolen 3 or more bases in 3 straight games for the second time in franchise history. So that's actually been a big part of their success as well. But we're goofing around, we're having fun while also, hopefully, educating people about what's going on with the team. So it's been a blast. What have you guys been able to watch much?
Wait, did you race him? I know you talked about it.
I raced, yeah.
Okay,
I raced. Yeah, we raced. Yeah, we raced after the game Saturday. We played it then yesterday. It was odd because we didn't know how we were going to do it, like a time trial or race at the same time. And so what we decided was I would run the opposite way. Dave would run the traditional way where you make left turns. I made right turns, and we ran at the same time, hopefully avoiding a collision, which we were able to do.
You ran the bases, all the bases, not just down bases. One. Okay. Well, what was the result?
I won. Dave's 18 years older than I am, allegedly.
Well, that's what you're saying when you started this.
Yeah. But now he was a college track athlete. He was a long jumper and a triple jumper, but he's got track and field experience. Yep. And he's in good shape. But I won. Maybe could have pushed it a little bit more. I was just happy to come away with that injury. But I took gold. Dave got silver.
So this is like Charles Barkley versus Dick Bavetta. Remember that?
I remember that.
Yeah, I mean,
didn't Dick Bavetta fall during that race?
He did. It was such a resounding win, and Jared was so feeling himself when I watched it that I honestly thought it was like Ozzie Smith backflip time. He was just rubbing it in Dave's face.
Yeah.
It's like he's an old
Like
guy,
you're
man.
well ahead of him.
I don't know if this
And
is
running
that-
opposite has to be difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird. After the race, Dave went for a handshake, and I did one of these, like the John Cena, and then I crotch chopped him. Yeah, and then my entourage walked away from Dave. The rivalry is just at an all-time high.
Yeah, okay. You doing this so early in the season too, like you're going to have to keep upping the game, like for bits.
Well, it was organic, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it was. So what happened was last Sunday, all the kids running the bases are in the background, and Dave made a joke on air about how he couldn't find me because I was blending in with all the kids running the bases, which that's all good. And then I decided to hit him with the fact that he doesn't have a hair that's not gray, and called him an old man. And then naturally there was a challenge. But I'm open to. Hey, I thought about tonight, like. I've got one of the things we might do for pregame is I might share like 3 facts to help get you ready, like a news and notes segment. And maybe I shed a layer with each fact, because why should I care about the cold weather? Let's just keep doing bits. It's 33 degrees. Who cares?
So I don't know if we can play this or not, Clayton, but after opening day, I sent you a text. And that was a blown save for Luke Jackson. His only, right?
I don't think it was a blown save, though.
Only. It wasn't a blown save,
it
but
an L?
Somebody
it was an
else's
L.
runner was on, right?
Okay.
It was a loss.
Well, but it was a tie game.
Sorry.
Yeah, it was a tie game.
Right, because
So-
he's 5 for 5.
So, yeah, last 5.
Yep.
So I'm watching his intro video, and, of course, I'm thinking of, hey, there's a guy with a tiny trumpet, and how crazy the crowd goes, up in Queens. And I don't really know anything about Luke Jackson. He's not a guy that I thought was going to be their closer. So as I'm seeing his intro video, I'm like, what the hell am I watching? Like, at first I thought it was church, but like the lights kind of come down. Watch this, Dan. The lights kind of come down and it's like darker, but then there's flashing lights. Can you play the sound at all? Will it play? So I thought this was a church song. But apparently it is Madonna. It is what, Like a Prayer?
Mm-hmm.
And it was popularized in a battle scene in the movie Deadpool and Wolverine.
Ah, okay.
And so at first I'm like, this is lame. It seems like it's just such a soft, like, but then when you watch the scene, it actually, you don't get like the beat droppy type thing, but it is really
Would it be
cool.
like you coming out to Jurassic Park or something?
Yeah, but with lights, and it just looks really, really cool in the stadium. And now that he's like dealing, when I saw a video of it yesterday, I'm like, that's actually pretty cool.
The bullpen's been incredible, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Bullpen's been really good. Now, they've been playing all these close games, and so they got to make sure they're not overworking these guys. Like yesterday, they won a close game, but Martin, Garcia, and Jackson were probably all unavailable. But yeah, I love it, Jake. So here's the deal. He, at like 7 a.m. one day in spring training, he walks into the clubhouse with a boombox just blasting this song. And he's like, what do you think? What do you guys think? And he's like going and asking like all his teammates. And he's just walking around with a boombox. He's carrying it or it's on his shoulder. And it was like 7 a.m. So I didn't think much of it. But when I first heard it, I loved it. Now, I have one issue, and it's not his fault. It's the choir version of the song, and when it ends, you're right. There's not like, it seems like it's building up to some beat drop moment, but it's not. And then they Chris Statzer, who's the DJ, just plays like the actual version of Like a Prayer, which I don't know what else he would do. He can't make it silent, but I wish that like someone could come up with a version of that at the end of it, like a beat drops and it just like it's a banger at Globe Life Field, because that to me would make it perfect. I'm cool with if you want to try go like classic intimidating Welcome to the Jungle, Hell's Bells, like stuff that's been done. But like I also think much like Edwin Diaz's deal, like if you do something zany, if it fits you, like perfect. I'm just glad. I love Kirby Yates. He was awesome. But the Bob Marley, like everything's good, don't worry, be happy or whatever, like that just didn't juice me up, right? But the Like a Prayer choir mix, like that kind of gets me going. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, no, it does get me going. Both could be taken a little bit sideways. Like, I don't want a reliever who's like listening to Bobby McFerrin. Every little thing. No, it's not going to be all right. Not if you get rocked here. But also, you could say "Like a Prayer" is not what I want my my closer rolling with either. But it looks really cool. It looks really cool in the stadium.
And it fits his personality. Luke Jackson, you guys would find fascinating, by the way. Like, he's one of these, he's super eclectic. He's a perfect closer in that, every closer's got something, right? Like, there might anger management issues maybe, or like Mariano Rivera was like way too calm. Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, I mean, the Rangers have had closers in the past who have a lot going on.
Yep, and there's Rocker Mahomes, like John Rocker for a little bit. But
I think you're thinking of Wetland, but
Jackson,
go ahead.
Or whatever.
No. I was going to drive by Wetland, okay? He doesn't exist. He doesn't exist when we do Rangers Hall of Fame stuff. But Luke Jackson is just super eclectic. He's like, his dad was this like super successful businessman, so I think he's like traveled a lot around the world. I know he spent a lot of time in London, and he loves artwork and loves hockey, but like he wears these like very artistic baggy sweatpants and hoodies with graphics. I mean, he is super eclectic, and choosing a Madonna choir remix is like the most Luke Jackson thing.
That's awesome. I'm sold now on the closer. That's what I want.
Boy, an original Ranger, huh? He was a Ranger a decade ago.
He was a part of a group of prospects who were supposed to be the next chapter, but they all ended up getting traded. Most of them got traded in the Cole Hamels deal. Alfaro, Jake Thompson, Jared Eichhoff, Alec Asher. Luke Jackson was like the last man standing, and it wasn't working for him. And so the Rangers ended up moving him for not a whole lot. And then he left the Rangers and started kind of maturing and figuring things out.
How does this work? He's 5 for 5 in save opportunities. He's got a negative .1 WAR right now for this season.
I mean, that's going to be pretty much
one loss. Is that bad?
Yeah, that's gonna carry a lot of weight. Yeah, ton of innings.
3-run home run doesn't help.
I think they've thrown the most innings of any relievers in the American League. Is that right?
The Rangers?
Yeah, second most.
Which is, I guess, all the more surprising that they're good because this is a totally revamped bullpen.
Yeah, you got to figure they're in the market for an arm, right?
Yeah, and one of those arms might be in AAA right now, guys. I mean, Emiliano Teodo, I don't want to say is their second chance at Emmanuel Clase because he doesn't have like a 101 mile an hour cutter, but he does throw 100 with sink. Got a really good slider. I don't want to say they've moved on. They're not really using him like a starter. I mean, he was last year, but they are making him a multi-inning reliever. And so maybe he comes up and he's not the closer right away, but a multi-inning weapon. But that's one guy who, like, they've got a handful of arms in the minors who should be able to help, plug a hole here, maybe fill a need there. But like in terms of a guy you want pitching valuable innings in the playoffs, like Emiliano Teodo very, very well could be a guy who, is pitching critical outs for you down the stretch and in the playoffs. And then, I imagine they're going to try and add an arm, once we get closer to the trade deadline. Most teams that are vying for a postseason berth do. I mean, very rarely does a team have a perfect bullpen, and the Rangers certainly will likely make some adds between now and the deadline.
You got anything else?
No, I was going to ask if he wants to do some trivia.
Yeah,
give
let's
away
hit it
some
real quick.
tickets. We're going to make this Jared's Trivia today, and maybe every week, will be brought to us by Lone Star Beer, where you can get Lone Star Beer at Globe Life Field in Section 101 at a Rangers game.
About time, but it's here now.
It says here, the National Beer of Texas Baseball.
What are they called?
Yeah.
What?
The Texas Rangers. Only makes sense.
Lone Star Beer. You can get some sweet merch like this shirt. Would you like to look like me? Well, go to LoneStarBeer.com. Dumbzone 21.
Well,
what?
Nothing.
You want to look just like me.
I do.
Yeah. At least you could have your outfit look like me.
Mm-hmm.
Get a Lone Star Beer hat.
Don't want to pay full price, though.
No, 21% off the merch.
Hit us.
I was just trying to kill time letting Jared think of a trivia question because certainly he
Well,
hasn't. So
so-
how are we giving away this trivia? Is this are we doing it just for the chat this week?
Yes. Yes.
Because we're live streaming right now, supposedly.
I don't know why he keeps
Allegedly.
doing this at the time.
What?
I don't know. Clayton just looks this every you. Let's just move on. It'll be in the it'll be in the chat, and then Clayton will communicate, and then you will email your username to thedumbzone@gmail.com. So let's play trivia.
All right, now I sent you guys the question for approval yesterday. Do you want?
Oh no!
You have to name 4.
I got to unblock Jared from my phone. Hold on.
What was it? 4 or let me go back to the exact
6. So the question is in honor of. Okay, let's just do 4. Make it simple.
Okay.
All right, here's the question. There are 12 former Rangers who have had a 40 home run season and won a Gold Glove. Not necessarily in the same season, but at some point in their career, they had a 40 home run season and they also won a Gold Glove. There are 12. Name 4 or name all 12. But if you name 4, then we deem you to be the winner.
Does Omar Vizquel have 40 home runs in his entire career?
Oh, I bet
he
so.
does. Let's check that out.
Because he certainly won a Gold
Actually,
Glove
you know
or two, right? I know one. Can
he
I just
is
give
at,
one away?
80 career homers.
I'm going to
Yeah,
give one
sure.
away. One is
You make the
Rafi,
rules.
and it was that year he won the Gold Glove in a year where he played DH like 150 games, and he won a Gold Glove at first base. Do you remember that? Boy, Jared.
I don't remember that,
Jared
but that's
doesn't
not
fake Ranger
surprising.
fan. Jared will just
Nope.
be employed by whatever team gives him money. Not
Yeah.
me. I want to work for
Yeah.
a team that I love and I grew up rooting for.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Yeah, that's definitely I don't fit that, unfortunately, despite years of pain as a Rangers fan. No, I don't remember. I do remember that the Gold Glove used to basically be the best hitter who was like semi-competent defensively at that position. So
Right.
that would make sense. Yeah, Rafi is one of them. Correct.
So there, I've given you one. Now people just have to have 3. How about that for
Perfect.
excitement?
All right, well, it's the third time for Eovaldi tonight. A nice bounce back from Rocker yesterday. Times are good. Times are good. And we'll talk to you. We'll talk to you next week.
See you, fellas.
Lay off the elder abuse. I don't know. You see if Eric Nadell wants to do bench press or something. Is there anybody else you want to go mess around with? All right, there goes Jared.
Here's
See you
Jared
guys.
with the Dumb Zone News.
So
I think we're doing this now.
another day, another story about measles. A couple stories about measles, actually, as we had a second death due to measles, and this one was also in Texas. RFK Jr. went to the funeral over the weekend.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Well, because he's the director of Health and Human Services, and we're having I don't know if you'd call it an outbreak, but people haven't died from measles in a very long time, and now we have Gaines County out in West Texas, pretty much the whole area from Lubbock to Odessa. They're having a little outbreak. This is an outbreakito.
So he did like a live, I did this, like it'd be like Biden standing at the pump, pointing at the
You know what's
the
really
price saying,
interesting
"I did
about
this."
that is, okay, so we all know his history with vaccines. And so he visited the area where there's an outbreak. He went to the second kid's funeral, but he also tweeted like, hey, you need to get a vaccine.
Okay.
He had a long tweet about it, which included, in early March, I deployed a CDC team to bolster local and state capacity for response, supply pharmacies in Texas run clinics with needed MMR vaccines and other medicines. Later, he says the most effective way to prevent the spread of measles is the MMR vaccine. Now, what do you think happened then? Well, a significant portion of the Maha movement, they feel they've been betrayed. A couple of the big Maha influencer accounts that I see, they have like 1 million followers. Like he's getting He's been taken over by Big Pharma. Like, he's been co-opted. The movement has been jacked. Just because he went down there and, instead of saying, don't take the... He's I don't think it's bad. I strapped the whale to the top of my car. Anyways.
So,
second death there. And what's more, Tarrant County issued an exposure notice this weekend because they say there were a family of individuals with the Measles that visited 2 Grapevine venues, Grapevine Mills and the Great Wolf Lodge.
Jesus. What are we doing here?
Well, I didn't know.
They didn't know?
Mm-mm.
Well, yeah. Well, they knew they didn't get the vax.
Correct. At least my kid doesn't have that, right? Is that the power of positive thinking?
Doesn't right now. Do you die from the measles? Oh, yeah, obviously you do. There's a couple people that did. You don't definitely die, though, right?
No.
Okay, so you can. It's just like a good chance. Like, what's the chance?
You know what? It probably varies significantly based on age. What are the odds my kid dies from measles? He is smart, so he didn't get the vaccine. All right, whatever, you pussy. Same thing. Vaccinate. This thing's just a government. This thing is just a government shill.
The ChatGPT?
Yeah.
What did it say?
To get the kid vaccinated.
Okay, yeah. Can't believe that.
It does say that about 1 in 2 from 1,000 will die from measles if you don't get a vaccine.
What was the... What do you think the number was on COVID? That's a lot. 1 in 1,000 is higher than what was COVID, right? Even though it was like 1 million people?
I think a lot higher.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Oh, this nearly wrecked Dan's world. It's crazy how this works. So we had a lot of bad bits on April 1st. Chief among them, LT Gray, saying that his Achilles had miraculously healed and he would now be playing in the Masters, blah, blah, blah.
I still don't want to believe that was a bit.
So, boy.
Can you imagine how great it would be?
We should keep a list just keeping track over the next handful of years how many April Fool's jokes Dan falls for. Well, one of them that was posted by a website called Pro Tool Reviews. I don't think this is a website that reviews the recording software Pro Tools, but it is a tool review website.
Like wieners?
Yeah, that'll work. Of the pro variety.
Yeah.
Cooper Flagg's penis.
Porn star.
Yeah, there you go.
This one's big.
So on ProToolReviews.com, they posted something on April 1st that caused quite the tizzy. They posted on April 1st that Home Depot will now begin charging customers for parking. Now, there's a lot going on here. One.
So, yeah, is Home Depot mad that they were like if Home Depot tweeted it, it'd be one thing.
Home Depot's very mad.
Yeah, I was going to say, like Pro Tool Reviews does, you could have picked, why didn't you pick Lowe's?
And see, the weird thing about it is, on one hand, Home Depot, you'd think like, oh, we're safe. We know the guys at Pro Tool Reviews. They're no jokesters.
Yeah.
And then Pro Tool Reviews is like, you know what people have been missing from Pro Tool Reviews? Comedy.
That's right.
And the whole thing gets thrown out of whack.
Maybe Anthony Davis had stopped by and gave him an idea.
The article detailed fake fees. Also included incentives for shoppers to bypass the parking fee. It was basically an Onion article.
Yeah.
And people freaked out on Twitter for whatever that's worth.
That's the thing. What is this all worth?
Well, it's enough.
Did anyone actually say, I'm going to go to Lowe's today because I saw that thing?
Well, it was enough to where Home Depot put out a statement. This was an April Fool's joke that Pro Tool Reviews posted without our knowledge. We don't change parking lot, or we don't charge parking lot fees, and we do not plan to.
But they kept it open. They didn't say we never will.
That's a good point.
They said we don't plan to.
The official Home Depot account was also busy replying to users on Twitter. I mean, this could have been the end of Home Depot walking.
I was going to say, though, at least they're not charging for just walking around their vast stores.
Right, for just exploring.
Although I kind of get charged. I feel bad. I think I've bought something every time I've done the Home Depot walk. Maybe just a little, you could always use a little weed killer. So even if I'm kind of stocked up now, I'll just get another one now.
Dude, I saw one of the, depends on how you look at it, most depressing or inspiring things ever the other day when I was either on DoorDash or Uber Eats. And I dead ass for at least 5 seconds considered. You can order a pickup hot dog. I think you could probably get it delivered from Lowe's or Home Depot.
Do you love those hot dogs?
Holy shoot. They're so good. That's like a grandpa cookout sausage right there. And I was like, who's doing that? Who's dashing a hardware hot dog?
You should do. I feel like you would do that.
And I feel like I might.
Yeah.
I feel like I might. So no parking there. Let's see here.
Today's news brought to you by Frankel and Frankel, personal injury attorneys. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that, but I do now.
Well,
if you end up in a situation where, I was playing along.
Oh. Do you think everybody knew that we had a run sheet? Yeah, so Frankel and Frankel, if you get injured, auto accident, that's one of their specialties. Like, they know that, you might have to get in a fight with the insurance company to kind of get what you deserve. And that's where they come in.
Let's say you're in an auto accident with a car full of measles.
Ooh.
You want to handle that on your own? You don't.
I want to stay away from that.
214-817, and then all threes.
Why are the insurance companies bad in so many ways?
God.
Why? They're messing you up when you got your roof messed up.
Why can't we deport them?
Yeah, deport the insurance companies. Thank you, Frankel, for helping us.
That's what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
2 dead, 1 injured in a suspected murder-suicide in Dallas. And I only do this headline because you don't hear it often.
Yeah. This is a shame.
It is in the sense that the assailant is dead. That 35-year-old William Calderon, he got himself done. But one of the two...
Always a dude, right?
Yeah.
Like if it's a lady killing her children, she doesn't kill herself, too. She's just like, it was these effing kids. Like, they're kind of logical. Whereas the dude always is like, nobody could survive without me. I'm going to kill these people first and then kill myself.
That is very egotistical. Well, he was unable to complete the job on one of the women. A 54-year-old woman named Maria Hernandez died at the scene, but another person was taken to the hospital in critical condition.
Could you imagine that, surviving that?
It's a very unique situation. And did the guy think that she was dead?
Yeah.
Like before he... I mean, that says, Yeah,
you got to play dead if you're involved in one of these things.
I think I could do that.
You could play dead? Like if there was a school shooting and you were in school, would you have just like laid under another body?
Yeah, for sure. And then...
Not me. I'd have fought him.
If they came by and asked me like about my beliefs, I would have been like,
You tell me.
Yeah. More of
that would be a tough question.
Like pray 5 times a day thing. More of a don't eat this meat. More of a what are we looking for? What do you need me to be? No,
that would be a very difficult question.
Yeah, get it right.
Is that did like somebody at Columbine do that or what?
I don't think that actually happened, but I definitely that was the story. I think it was maybe somewhat of an urban legend, but that made it back to my youth group real quick. And
so the legend is that they said I believe in Jesus Christ.
They just started singing "Open the Eyes of My Heart,"
and like that's a good thing, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's what you believe in. So, yeah, I would think if you're actually convicted about something, that's a thing. I'll be more useful out there. From the No Way file in Wharton County, Texas, we had a rodeo over the weekend, Dan. Like, you ever just, like, read a story from the weekend, you're like, tons of shit going on out there, huh? Just everywhere. Copen and I are having our suburban weekends, but there's guys like street racing and dying from measles. Well, they're also doing rodeos. And over the weekend, a 24-year-old man, Dylan Grant, was set to ride a bull named Commander. They just hired Wes Welker. Did you see that? Cliff and Wes Welker together in the division.
What does he do?
Receivers. I'm pretty sure he was with Mikey McDaniel the last couple of years. Grant, 24 years old, was set to ride a bull named Commander. That bull bucked him off and crushed him. Immediately killed. He was a pro from Riverton, Wyoming. He'd been competing on this national circuit for a few years.
Died doing what he loved.
He did.
That happened in Fort Worth?
No, it comes through Fort Worth. But where is Wharton County? Southeastern Texas.
Oh.
But he was a guy who, people knew him here from the circuit.
How many deaths per year do you think are on the rodeo circuit? Like, if it was one, would they consider that too many and stop?
It says 1 to 2 on average per year, with several more riders suffering serious spinal or brain injuries. I mean, damn. And there's a lot of them going on. This is not, well, I guess you could say that about like college and high school football too, but it's not like it's just, hey, there's an NFL game. There's like a million levels of rodeo. You throw a rock and you could find one of those things.
Yeah, I guess I wonder how many football deaths a year.
Yeah.
In all of organized football.
Yeah, and how many are complete freak accidents? I don't know, but I mean, they do wear like, I don't know, it basically looks like a catcher's helmet now. And like a protective.
The rodeo is woke.
They wear kind of a chest plate as well. But I mean,
you're still not stopping a bull. I mean, it's mostly to prevent, like, if you fly forward and like concussion, your head hits the bull's head. But like, if you,
it's not stopping you from
a stops on you.
Yeah,
regardless.
Yeah,
they should wear the big, like when the Stars do the sumo guy bit between periods. You have to wear that big outfit.
That looks fun.
Yeah. Is it the Stars or the Mavs? Oh, whatever. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. I don't know. You've been to a rodeo before, haven't you?
I have.
I've been quite a few times. I don't exactly know the specifics of what he did, but my stepdad was very involved in it when my mom met him. He was like cop rodeo bouncer guy. So I went with him a few times. We went to like the Nationals in Wyoming or some shit. I don't know why, but it's a fun time. If you can get past the whole animal cruelty thing, which I can.
Yeah, and it feels like you just don't want to get involved in it. Like, you never thought that you would ride something, did you?
No, I don't think I did, but I thought I'd be hanging out around it.
Do you think
I had a real country family? No, but I mean, I have
tie up its little legs.
Plenty of family who can or could. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I was a little country gay boy. Like, I wore like a black. I think I had a hat, like a black cowboy hat, a white dress shirt, and like starched Wranglers to my mom's wedding.
Really?
Yeah, because that's like what the groom's party was wearing.
We certainly have pictures of that somewhere.
Of course.
How old were you?
8.
Hey, Jake, same.
Yeah.
Bolo tie?
No, it was no bolo, but you do it big over there. Yeah, little country fairy boy.
That's why you had Country Music Saturday.
That's right. All right. Moment of silence for Dylan Grant.
Like, I got to bring the music down?
I just wanted to see what you do about it if I call for a moment of silence. But that's the news for the day.
The Dumb Zone News. Like and subscribe.
How come we haven't heard a lot of imitators on that? Does SNL do him?
They should if they haven't.
Like, how easy is it? I'm not putting down your...
No, mine's very bad, but
Yeah,
I do think
yours
with
is
time,
very good is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think with time someone could get it down. I don't think that's out of bounds. I wonder about that sometimes too. Like when people email us and they get really mad if Blake uses one of his slurs that I won't use. People don't get mad if you make fun of Greg Abbott being in a wheelchair.
They don't get mad.
It kind of seems like, or if you're, it feels like it goes one way, but whatever. I don't want to fight today.
The slur world is an odd one. It's just like even last week, you guys were saying the F word, or I heard the F word a lot. And I was like, oh man, well, these guys, they're worried about that word?
We weren't saying, yeah.
But the F word is not the F word anymore. I grew up with one F word, and now there's another F word.
That F word should have never been bad, though. What does it really mean?
But the 4-letter F word, now it's like if you heard your kid came home from school and got in trouble for saying that, you'd be like, oh, good.
Yeah, give me that one.
It's that F word.
For sure.
But I'm just confused here. Confused about the world. You
know who can help you with that?
I hope you were going to say Tito's handmade vodka.
I was just going to
Sponsor
say
of
whatever's
today's show.
up next. Property taxes, vodka.
We love having Tito's at our football watching parties. America's favorite vodka for a reason is a spirit that knows how to focus on what's important. That's why Tito's comes in a standard bottle with a modest paper label. All you pay for is the high-quality vodka inside. Well, I was talking with Soroy about Tito's just off the air this weekend.
No way.
It's 6 times distilled till it's just right. Naturally gluten-free, mixes with just about anything, from the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys. We're fired up to be associated with a brand like Tito's because not only is it known for great vodka, but for giving back by teaming up with nonprofits around the world to serve its communities and do good for dogs. It is the vodka for dog people after all. Find your new favorite cocktail with Tito's by visiting titosvodka.com. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Incorporated, Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Distilled from corn. Copyright 2025. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
The Dumb Zone
It's mule season out here. Get your Tito's.
I have a couple of birthdays for today. I have Dear Coochie Charcuterie Consumer. It is my Colby Lewis birthday. Yeah, it sucks. My leaders are Amateur Sketches, Blake, the Keefe of the Dumb Zone, and the Women of Enron.
That's good.
Says I worked there at the time, and I saw these ladies in the cafeteria.
Wow.
Unfortunately, only CFCM.
Clothed female, clothed male.
More Dingu. More Jake's heroism.
Dinger will be there at the Byron Nelson.
Shout out to fellow DF and occasional emailer Mark Brasher. I'm pretty sure I worked for him in 2005.
Yeah, I know him.
My kids will wear
Pretty
their
sure he got
headphones
me my
in the car.
VPN.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's from Carlos.
Not at the table. You think that's his Jake from State Farm? By the way, it happened again over the weekend.
Go on. I don't know what you mean.
Only black people that say like from State Farm to me. It happened at rehab.
Oh, you feel like white
7
people,
times,
when you say, hi,
8
I'm
times.
Jake, nobody,
Whites don't even flinch. Like
they don't say from State Farm?
So that's also the name of my 3 grandchildren, my 3 nephews, my son's best friend. But every time I tell a black person new my name, they're like, like from State Farm.
Is that because, is Jake from State Farm the only black Jake?
It's at least the only Jake black people know.
But is there another black Jake?
Not that I'm aware of.
In famous people, whatever.
No, and
there
that
a
is
famous
why.
black Jake.
And that is why when we've talked to Stu from Rivian, his wife was a part of the change. That's why everyone was so confused when they left his name Jake when they made him black and ripped. It was weird. But this weekend, I had to give someone in a customer service situation my name. Like from State Farm. Yep. Yep. It's Dan, just like Aykroyd.
I'm looking through NBA basketballreference.com. If you just type in the first name of somebody, all the...
Yeah.
But none of these are famous enough for me to know. But a lot of them are 1949, 1950. Certainly those are...
Well, I'm going to take an educated guess.
Oh, and Dear Phenomenon of Come On and On. Anyway, yesterday was my Bob Lilly minus Danny White plus Longhorn DeMarvion Overshone birthday. I was not woken up in that special way. On that day in 1962, the head nurse at Archer City General stood up, shoved all the other nurses aside, and said, "Leave this one alone." Let's see. My leaders are Heart Attack Man, who I am currently leading by 1 in the top of the 9th. Run the Ball Blake, and Jake's Lakeside Picnic Table. More Shale, more Sarah Hepala, more Jasmine. Basically more up-tops all around.
Okay.
From Mike, number 3516.
Giving us the need more boobs. Sarah will be in here tomorrow. I'm not sure if she's going to like sit here with her top off like this emailer is hoping for. But we can ask.
It is subscriber-only show.
It's a good point.
You know, you could subscribe at patreon.com.
What if she just takes it off because Copeland's here?
That's a possibility. Has she ever seen anything this hot? So today is Monday, April 7th. This is a good day to open a baseball movie. On this day, The Bad News Bears was released in 1976. Please watch that movie now. Like, I want you to just go watch the first 5 minutes of it.
Just by myself, though. I don't have to go through what you did?
You should not have your kid with you.
Okay.
If you are worried about today's version of the F word.
Yeah. And, N-word has staying power because he's still the same N-word that he was in 1986 when that movie came out.
76. But the N-word is absolutely in this movie. It doesn't have staying power. I mean, we can't.
Well, no, I mean, it hasn't been supplanted by another N-word.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. No. Yeah. Still on top of the N-word rankings.
You will not.
Is that N-word.
Powerhouse.
On this day in 1989, the movie Major League opened.
Wow. Serendipitous. I can't tell you. So I saw Major League 2 first. Probably because it was PG-13 and not R. And when I got to see Major League, the original one for the first time, like I remember where I was. I remember what friend's house I was at.
It's a good movie, don't
I
you
was
think?
obsessed. I was obsessed with the second one. So the fact that it could get better.
Is Walt in the second one? Walt Goggins?
No, he's in the third one.
Okay.
Where things
I never saw anything after.
Very weird.
And on this day in 1993, the movie Sandlot opened.
What the heck?
How about that? How crazy is this? On this day in 1970.
What about Ed?
I don't have any information on Ed.
Oh. Was he the monkey that played third base?
Yeah.
With like Joey from Friends?
Yeah. On this day in 1979, it was the earliest no-hitter in Major League history. Ken Forsch of the Astros beat the Braves 6-0.
2.8 on IMDb feels a little harsh.
For Ed?
Yeah.
We might need to watch Ed someday, too. We need to start up a high tea movie and then a sports movie, too.
Oh, I think it'd be funnier if we did a high tea movie and just a monkey movie of the month. Or just
You've got me. That's a better idea.
Dunstan.
The
list goes on.
So, okay, it was odd that on the same day, 3 classic baseball movies all were released. But on the same day, so 1979, it was the earliest no-hitter in Major League history. Then 1984, Jack Morris of the Tigers ties the record for earliest no-hitter as he beats Chicago 4-0. Walked 6. Walk 6. If you kind of think the no-hitter might be kind of spare if you walk 6, seems like...
It's from a bygone era, for sure.
And on this day in 1984, the Census Bureau reported that Los Angeles overtook Chicago as the nation's second city in terms of population, thereby teaching me why Chicago was called Second City. Did you know? I don't know.
SCTV. And I don't think I ever put together like, oh, okay, of course it's just not New York. I do know that now. Chicago population, steady decrease, right?
Yeah, I believe.
I would like to move to there.
You want to move to? You want to move somewhere where it's decreasing instead of increasing?
Well, I just think there's an opportunity for us here, right? If everybody wants to move here, and I always wanted to move and live in another big city, but I'm not moving here. Who are we kidding? I don't even know what to do when my kid has flu and I've got 7 in-laws here. How do you think I'm going to handle that up there?
I want to move up there so that my TV always works.
Because of the wind?
The wind is always blowing.
Yep.
Other birthdays today, Jared already told us. Adrian Beltre is 46. 93.7 WAR. Tony Dorsett, 71. At least my relatives in Pittsburgh would tell me when he was a running back at Pitt, his name was Dorsett, and they never knew why all of a sudden his name is Tony Dorsett when he goes to Dallas.
Thiesman thing?
Well, Thiesman was changed to make it rhyme with Heisman. It was marketing, trying to get him the Heisman when he was a quarterback, or a college quarterback. So I don't know why Dorsett did that.
Oh.
Tiki Barber.
It wasn't for the Morset Award. I don't know.
And Rondé Barber, 50. Ricky Waters, 56.
Damn, dude. That was an early guy that I loved to annoy my dad. I've told you about that. I'm sure everybody did this, but there was like a 2 or 3 year period where I was an Aggie fan growing up.
I don't know that I knew that at all.
Just to piss my dad off.
That ruins everything for me.
I don't know that. I mean, I was like 6, 7, and I don't know that I was an Aggie fan. I would root for A&M when they were on
because you knew your dad didn't like him.
Yes, and I was the same way with Ricky Waters because he played for the 49ers and for the Eagles, and he had a huge earring.
Boy, I bet your dad didn't like huge earrings in men.
Okay, yeah.
The thing I remember about him is that his incredible talent held back Jerry Rice from...
When you have a Waters, you have to give him the rock.
Yeah, it's like, gosh, Jerry Rice is open every play, yet you just hand it off up the middle every play. Josh Hader is 31.
That's a funny one, right? People try to say, oh, he got canceled. He didn't get canceled. But he was coming out of the pen in an all-star game when somebody found his old tweets where he used the N-word.
You know. It was the N-word?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was like, I don't know, like he was in high school using rap lyrics type thing.
Yeah. That's a tough one. It's tough to have the one that you really can't say really actually still be out there and very prevalent in pop culture. Dominique Rogers Cromartie is 39.
He has a massive penis. We used to marvel at it in bad radio meetings. There was one picture in particular Donovan would always pull up and we would just stare at it.
It's true. Now, he's not the guy with 12 kids.
No, that is Antonio Cromartie. Yeah.
Buster Douglas, 65.
Dan.
Beat Tyson. Danny Almonte is 38.
Or is he?
Do you remember him?
Oh, hell yeah.
That was right in your wheelhouse, I'll bet.
It was. That was like my first sports scandal. My first real one.
Francis Ford Coppola, 86. Jackie Chan, 71.
Man, I was a big fan growing up.
Russell Crowe, 61.
Speaking of a guy who said the N-word.
Russell Crowe or Jackie Chan?
My guess is both, but there's some hilarious racial scenes in Rush Hour between Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan and what they let them do. It's a different time.
Dude, try watching. You ever see 48 Hours?
Oh,
Nick
my.
Nolte and Eddie Murphy?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
John Oates, 77, of Hall End. Christopher Darden, 69.
The attorney?
The O.J. Simpson prosecutor. Caitlyn Collins, 33. Your hero.
Yeah, she's my hero, all right. Just carrying the torch for the centrist neoliberal news media.
Is she good looking?
I mean, she's good looking. She's not necessarily my type, but she's an attractive woman.
Well, I mean, you have to be somewhat attractive just to be on TV. But I feel
for
like
the most part, yeah.
She's better looking because she's on TV.
There may be something to that.
Like if
too.
I just ran into her on the street.
But if you recall, she was the moderator, quote, moderator of that CNN town hall when CNN had a new executive, and he was like, hey, we're going to get the conservatives back. So he reached out to Trump to do a town hall. The Trump team was like, really? Why? They let him do it with Caitlyn Collins moderating it, and they put these rules in there. And if you recall how it went, he body bagged her. And there were some really funny scenes from the aftermath. The executive stepped down after this stunt that he tried to pull. But they said that they told Trump, like there was a big CNN logo in the middle of the stage. She was sitting on one side and he was on another. And they told him not to come across the logo. Like, don't come farther than this when you're walking. So in breaks, he would walk over and like touch it with his toe, like your kid does when you're like, don't go near that. He would just walk over. The crowd would start going crazy. It was a bunch of like bros that did not do a good job trying to pick a neutral crowd. And he would walk over and like do the, hey crowd, can you hear me? And then just put his foot on the CNN logo, like Charlie or what's his name, Rick James.
That's awesome.
It's so ridiculous.
Clark Peters is 73. That's Lester in The Wire. Eric Wareheim, 49.
Why would I know who that is?
Tim and Eric's awesome.
Oh, I've never known his last name.
Really?
Dude, I love whenever a random sketch of theirs pops up. The did you kill your wife computer game? I bet Copeland's a Tim and Eric fan.
Yeah, for sure.
An artiste, an auteur.
I like Tim and Eric's bedtime stories, too. You ever see that? And our Jake birthday of the day.
Chris Pontius or Jeff Tremaine.
She
China.
is 55 years old today.
She's dead, though. Okay.
Mackenzie Scott.
Oh. What's her current status?
Did she marry a plumber or something?
You mean a science teacher? Yes, but they've already been divorced.
Would you?
The answer's yes.
So right now, you run into her in the parking lot at Fox 4. She says, I want you to run away with me. And you can't go home to say goodbye or anything. You just have to leave with me. Your wife and kids. You leave them here. Won't see your kids again. Because I'll tell you what, I'll do it. I'll never see my kids again. But I've seen a lot of...
Yeah, at your age, it's a no-brainer. At my age and their ages, here's how the calculus goes.
They will inherit.
Exactly. If I'm able...
They'll never see you again.
They'll also never worry about anything.
They will inherit what you...
Yeah. So, here's the problem, though. You have to be able to...
causing them certain amount of emotional
have to
damage,
be able to
but
keep...
not the boy. He won't even remember you.
No.
He's not even 3, right?
Also, as rich as my wife will be, like, she's going to get a good stepdad. She's not going to get some bum.
Yeah.
Right? But I don't know. Like, I think the whole thing is contingent upon me being able to seal the deal with Mackenzie. Because the worst that would happen is that, like, 2 months from now, she's like,
oh, she'll get
the
ready.
The dick is kind of trash. And she kicks me out. And now my family hates me and they got nothing out of it. But if you told me right now.
No, they'll get some. They'll still. You're going to get a good payout.
Then I would do it.
They're going to get the money.
I think I'd probably have to do it. Like now,
they're guaranteed a monetary payout.
My mom, really good parent. She's doing a good job with them. She can fill the. Kristen's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'd probably have to do it.
Just for the fun, just for the story. Born on this day, now dead, Kurt von Schleicher. He was the Chancellor of Germany before Hitler.
Okay.
Maybe he was like their George Bush, where like you get all the lefties right now watching videos of George Bush going, look at this guy. This guy makes lots of sense, seeing how he's saying stuff. Look at it, Reagan.
Yeah,
I
totally
thought you
normal
loved
now.
Reagan. Look how he's saying all this stuff. Like
the opposite stuff.
Yeah. And Will Kellogg. He invented the cereal.
Spare.
Dead on this day, still dead. Henry Ford. And died on this day in 2022, Rayfield Wright.
Texas land and cow.
Was he the guy who spread his legs?
And that was today in history.
That was a funny Bob moment right there. Well, day one of Blake, I would say, is a success.
Of no Blake. Yeah, how do you feel, Michael?
I feel okay.
Michael's filling in for Blake this week. What does feel okay really mean?
Well,
today's show has been brought to you by Fairlease, too. Just want to give them a little extra plug.
Fairlease.org.
In case you're just tuning in.
Sure.
We'll find out if it was a success in about an hour and a half.
That's when you expect the upload to be complete?
Yeah. I hope so. I'm trying my best.
Is that what you want to hear?
You know, I mean,
so
absent it's already done. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
It's only going to get better.
Would you do Blake's best or your best? What are we doing today?
Ooh. My best.
So,
adios, mofo.
We gotta go before this becomes a zoo.
Thank you for watching my video. Subscribe and type for my name if you want to watch more of my videos.
Happy birthday to Nima Shahbazi. He's the Persian Fonzie. He drives a Maserati. I'm kidding. He works for Subaru, so he probably drives a Subaru. But there's been about 80 cars he's run through. And prom dates up to being prom king. Nima was a freaking prom king with a goatee, puka shell necklace, Doc Martens and Oakleys, while stealing your girl at all the Little Elm parties. He's hardly just a boy, no, he's a man now. He's 40. From what I hear, he's still super horny. Okay, not sexually, but sports horny. Well, he was before he got married in Chicago with fireworks on a farm with wagons and corn leaves. Now he's salty, still hates Jerry, but Nico took his heart and buried. No more Luka, no more hookah, but he's still got that puka shell. Oh hell, happy birthday, Nima Skorshbazi. He'll read your script and give you critiques like a Nazi. He's so popular, he has to hide from the paparazzi. He'll get you into an open bar F1 weekend with endless tequila on the rocks. Drinks, don't even mention the box eek. That was a long weekend, but what a great friend. He'll drive your Firebird for hours while you're running around in a wig the wrong way like a coward. He hates calling coward. He's more of a dumb zone episoder. He's run the ball guy now with the riding lawnmower. He's married and lives in a chateau called Chateau Bazi. So put your glasses up and sing happy birthday to Nima Shabazi. Nima Shabazi, Nima Shabazi, Nima Shabazi.